how electric and dominant the offense was. So 3 weeks into the season, you can't tell me that they're a better team than they were a year ago. Now, at the end of the season, there's a chance of it because of this defense that they're a better team. Yeah, and it doesn't equate to a Super Bowl win automatically by any means.
But here's the truth, but they also have the exact same talent as they did, the exact same talent as they did last year in the offense. The guy they're missing is Juju Smith-Schuster. Because let's not even include McCole Hardman. He did not play for this team. So it's, we don't have to worry about that version of it, and that's not the concern. It's the same wide receivers. It's still Travis Kelce. It's the same running backs. It is at least similarly good offensive line, right? So that's part of the equation. And so when you look across the board, why can't it be better than last year's team?
Well, what's the question? Is it that they're better right the second, or do I think they'll be better at the end of the season? Two different things.
Well, I think you're answering the question the same, in my opinion, because if you're saying they're better now, you think they're going to be better at the end of the season.
But I'm saying I don't think right now you can tell me they're better than last year.
Well, I don't want to just go, it feels like I'm sitting on the fence. I'm like, well, they could be better, because they might be. I think, I think they are. I think that this is a more complete team than last year's team that won the Super Bowl. Sometimes you get things right in the right moment, and you still go on to win the Super Bowl, even if sometimes we agree you didn't have the best roster or you weren't the number one team. The Chiefs have lost years in which I thought they were the better team. They were the better team the year they lost. They were the most complete team. One of the best teams they've had is the year they lost the Super Bowl to Tampa Bay. They had bad injuries at the wrong time, and they lost the game. I would argue that was a better team than the year after that. Then they lost in the AFC title game. I think this team, because of the defense, I think this is better than last year's team. It is a far more complete team with me to similar offensive talent.
Yeah, that's how they'll be the better team, is because of the defense. If, in fact, that's an offense that can end up getting revved up at anywhere near last year's, then obviously it will be, because the defense is going to be that much better. I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying, I know you don't like the answer, but I'm just saying 3 weeks into the season, I can't tell you that they're a better football team than they were last year throughout the entire season because of how good they were offensively. Normally, when we have these conversations about the offense, you're more skeptical about it. I'm surprised that you're already thinking that they're able to be at that level.
Well, I think you and I both know that no matter what the floor is of the offense, that there's still a limitation of how low they can go.
Sure.
I understand at this point they have been, obviously that 41-point output is going to help their overall points per game ranking. I assume, I have not looked yet, Miami is the number one scoring team in the NFL right now. They are at 43 points a game. The Chiefs are currently 9th in the league at 26 points a game. We know last year, and in most years, being about a 30-point team per game is going to make you the number one offense in the land. And I think by the time that they're done, they'll be somewhere in the top 3 in the points per game standpoint. They will still be viewed as one of the league's best offenses. And this year, because of the defense, that's really what we're driving this towards. They're a better team than last year. Last year's defense was fine. They were a really good pass rush team. They created no turnovers ever, under any circumstance, created no turnovers. They're not a great turnover team at the moment, but they are a average turnover team as it sits. And I just think all of those second-year players that were on that defense last year, somehow right now, it looks like they're at like a 95% success rate of gotten better. That is not how it's normally supposed to go. I know it's only 3 games into the year, but that's why I'm feeling so good about it.
Well, yeah, the defense is the key to the entire question here. That's how they end up being better. If you tell me the defense,
any chance you think the offense is better at the end of the year than last year's?
No. Again, we just went.
Interesting. I wonder, is it just because of the lack of Juju? Because everything else is better, about the same.
They can be about the same, maybe, but better.
Better.
They were. Let's not forget. We're talking about better. This offense last year was basically as efficient as you can get. They were the top of the league in points per game. They were top of the league in total yards per game and per play. They were top of the league in yards per passing attempt, right? A season ago. They were top in the league in first downs per game. They were top in the league in touchdown pass percentage, and they were top in the league with passer rating. So, I don't think it's nuts to think that, their offense won't be better than a year ago. Can it eventually get to that level? Maybe so, but that's my hesitation with saying, can they be better? The key is the defense. If you think the defense is going to end up being where they're at right now, one of the elite defenses in football, or even just sliding back to a top 10 defense from where they've been 3 weeks in, then that puts them as a better team. But right now, I think we're downplaying just how damn good the offense was a year ago to already say that. I mean, they were I just rattled off 6 categories where they were far and away the best team in.
I understand. And I know that there's some other really good offenses this year. And, where they rank, to me, where they finish in ranking amongst offenses doesn't say, that's just where they rank amongst the league. There might be offenses who are better than them now. I'm comparing their offense directly to last year's offense to me. Where they end up ranking in this is not fully important, other than the sense that are they as successful in those situations as they were? I don't care if Miami is better than last year's Chiefs offense. That might very well be the case. That doesn't mean the Chiefs are a worse team or aren't as good of an offensive team.
Yeah, I guess I'm confused by the whole point there. I'm not telling you that you're right.
You're saying where they ranked in all these things. Where they rank at the end of this year isn't necessarily indicative of how good of an offense they're. There might just be better offenses than there were
Maybe so, but I mean, you're right. It's not even just the rank. I can give you what the number was. Points per game, 29.2. So you may not like that. That was first.
That one's
so
fine,
if they're 27.2, then last year's offense was better. I mean,
I don't know if it's that simple, but yes, I understand the notion that they rank better than that in that category. And right now they're slightly below that number, but I also think by the time that we're done here,
yes,
they're going to score more than 26 points per game, because I imagine they haven't, without looking, I imagine they haven't scored way lower than that at any particular time across the board. Yeah. I know that it all comes down to the defense. I understand that notion. At this point, I was actually walking into this season feeling like, well, they're not going to be able to repeat the sack performance from last year's team. They were second in the NFL in sacks. Are they really going to be able to do that? To me, just because you finish with less sacks doesn't mean you're a worse defense. You might just have to go about it a different way, maybe get a few less throughout the season. But right now, their pass rush looks better than last year's, or at least as good, and all the other players to go along with it. I maybe people aren't ready to say it now. That's fine. I think by the end of the year, we will all kind of universally agree, whether they win the Super Bowl or not, that this is a better team than last year.
There's a very good chance we get there. Yeah, it's a little early. It's a little early for that.
I'm not surprised that people tend to, be careful during that. Like Pete Sweeney just sent out another stat about an hour ago that to me is another indicative of where this offense will go, which is he is the least pressured quarterback in his career. He is one of the lowest pressured quarterbacks in the entire NFL. To me, that eventually is going to bear a lot of fruit. If Patrick Mahomes is just going to get to stand back there and kick it, then we're just not going to have a problem. I did really like, by the way, that Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes clip that they played out where Travis was supposed to do a completely different thing. And you hear him talking to the sideline, he's like, I knew Trav was going to do that, even though he's supposed to do the other
thing. That relationship they have on the field is nuts.
It's not going to be able to be replicated. It's part of the problem.
You can't. Yeah, never, by the way. Like, that's one of those where you can eventually down the road tell me they end up getting another tight end that's pretty decent. One, you're doing with a Hall of Fame tight end, but that relationship and knowing where someone's going to be, even if it's not where they're supposed to be, if that makes sense, is just something that's ultra special, and it's why this duo, this combination is as good as it gets in the NFL. Thinking of Travis Kelce, though, his podcast, New Heights podcast, the numbers are going to be just
I know eventually they'll release the download numbers for it.
Insane. So today, Jason Kelce, Travis Kelce, New Heights podcast came out, and because of the Taylor Swift situation, the numbers are just, are they going to do like 20 times the normal number, 10 times? It'll be nuts.
Jersey sale went 400%, so probably 400% the normal amount. You want me to just ballpark it? That number, the number of percentage increase in his jersey sales. That's how much I think the podcast numbers will go up.
It could. So this is what Travis Kelce had to say, along with his brother, on the podcast about the weekend that was, which included Taylor Swift publicly at Arrowhead and hanging out with Travis.
We got to talk about it.
Yeah, my personal life, that's not so personal.
Yeah, well.
I did this to myself, Jason. I know this.
Well, Trav, how's it feel that Taylor Swift has finally put you on the map?
I just thought it was awesome how everybody in the suite had nothing but great things to say about her. The friends and family. She looked amazing. Everybody was talking about her in great light. And on top of that, the day went perfect for Chiefs fans, of course. We script it all, ladies and gentlemen. But to see the slow motion chest bumps, to see the high fives with mom, to see how, Chiefs Kingdom was all excited that she was there, that was absolutely hysterical. It was definitely a game I'll remember. That's for damn sure. And then we just slid off in the getaway car at the end.
Everybody's talking about it.
Everyone, literally. everyone, even Bill Belichick. He hasn't talked much about me outside of, game weeks that we've played, but he made sure to remind me that that's the best catch I've ever had in my life.
Dude, that was a great line by Bill.
Hilarious. And then you got Coach Reed telling everybody he's Cupid. He's been manifesting this the whole time. He's the one that set us up.
Is there any truth to this?
I don't even know how to answer that. I know that he had met the Swift family before, so I don't know. He could have been in the background the whole time.
Dude, Coach Reed playing matchmaker?
Who knew Cupid was so big? Shout out to Taylor for coming through and see me rock the stage.
How awesome is that? By the way, the Cupid line's fantastic from Travis there. Who knew Cupid was so big? Well done. That was about the extent that they really went into talking about it. I think later in the podcast, if you listen to the full New Heights podcast, he talked about just trying to be respectful of Taylor Swift, and he's going to keep a lot of it private, it sounds like. And I think that's probably, it's one of those we joked, but basically don't screw this thing up. If she wants to keep it private, if that's what has to happen, then that's exactly what you're going to do.
I'm sure she does want to keep it private. But I think if you watch, you can absolutely see that he's like smitten.
Oh, he
seems almost like shy and embarrassed by it, which is the antithesis of the entire Travis Kelce personality. He's on the sideline. He's kind of like doe-eyed. They are definitely he's in the throes of it. He is very into this relationship. But yeah, I'm not going to be surprised if they keep a huge chunk of this private. I imagine she typically tries to keep a huge chunk of her life private. He admitted in that podcast, part of it is he's like, yeah, she's not as public-facing as I am, weirdly enough, which is, I host this podcast every week. I am available for the media. We do media-related interviews. I might go on Pat McAfee or you go on WIP, right? I mean, they know that they speak to the media more than she speaks to the media.
Sure.
And so, that just adds a whole nother dynamic to it.
Yeah, we'll see. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are scheduled to speak today around 11:45. You'll hear that here. And sometimes there's usually other players. To be determined whether or not one of those other players will actually end up being Travis Kelce or not. That is completely,
carry live if it is.
That is up in the air. I can promise you, we'll carry it live if, in fact, Travis Kelce does hold court at the podium over at Arrowhead. Now, Jason Kelce, in addition to the New Heights podcast, Travis's brother does a weekly interview on our sister station, WIP, in Philly. And last week we played you the cut where he was predicting what was going to happen, basically, or hey, was it real? And he was kind of playing along like he was joking, but he also was serious. And now we know what's since happened. This was Jason Kelce talking about Travis and kind of how he's handling the relationship so far.
I would say with this one, it definitely seems like he is going above and beyond to be a gentleman. And I think that he can probably handle both of those gears when necessary. But,
different side of Travis. Taylor Swift bringing out a different side of Travis Kelce.
It's a good thing.
Sounds like.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing at all.
Jason's been almost as honest about it as this. He did get asked if Travis has made it past first base.
Oh, jeez.
In a radio interview, this was his response.
I would hope, but I have no idea what I've gotten no inclination from Travis as to what his batting percentage has been or anything like that. Yeah.
I would hope. I'm telling you right now, if she is flying to Kansas City to watch you play, they're definitely past first base. Grow up. People don't fly to see each other having never kissed.
I love the fact that the show asked Jason Kelce that question.
Well, I don't know. And again,
Text Pete Sweeney.
Why?
We need more in-depth questions today. If Travis ends up at the podium at all today, more in-depth Taylor Swift questions, just from him, please. Did you see Pete Sweeney was wearing a Taylor Swift outfit?
I did.
Yeah, how about we got to ask him about that on Friday.
I've already selected our J Ringer cocktails for Club 610.
Yep.
They will be red colored.
There you go.
So, we might as well lean into this at least a little bit longer. I know the text sounds like, hey, it's nice to hear sports talk versus Taylor Swift. Look, you're still going to get a mix.
We get both. We get both here.
You're definitely going to get plenty of sports talk in this show. Vinny's coming up. He's our NFL insider. Danan Hughes. We got plenty of stuff going on today. But Jason talking about this is important. Here is what Jason had to say about Taylor being in the game, by the way. I think there's something interesting here at the end.
She went to the game this week, so it was fun watching the whole world take it in, to be honest with you. But, yeah, I'm more focused on talking to Trav and Mom after the game and seeing how everything went, and hopefully everything went smoothly for her because, I don't know. I saw the videos of the brigade that the Chiefs had to put outside the suite that she was in, and I mean, it's, you just hope that somebody of her level and stature can enjoy the game. And it certainly, seemed like she was enjoying it from all accounts and everybody I talked to. But, so you're kind of just hoping that, she had a good time and that, you're asking questions about her to your mom and whatnot. So it was fun. I'm happy that finally happened out in the public's eye, so I can hopefully stop being asked questions about it.
Finally happened out in the public's eye. Anybody want to take a guess on when this relationship started? I'm guessing like August 1st.
Yeah, I said right before camp.
Just maybe
I think
late
it's right
July.
before camp. Yeah, so I think they went to camp July 24th. I think it happened right around there.
The concert here was July 7th and 8th.
Yep. And then the podcasts where he explained that he tried
I think they were already dating when he made the joke on the podcast.
I don't know.
I think when he makes the reference on the podcast about how I tried to give her the bracelet, I think at that point he was comfortable making that reference because they had already.
How do you think that happened? So you're
PR
saying
people, it's not hard.
You think before the Kelce concert happened, or the Swift concert happened on July 7th?
No. I think before the podcast on the 24th that says I tried to give her a bracelet, they were already in communication before. I don't think that podcast is the reason they did it. I did see Nick Wright's take on this, by the way, which was it's going to help them sign Chris Jones because one of the perks you can be like, well, if you are a member of the Kansas City Chiefs, you can say things on podcasts like I want to date Taylor Swift, and then it can happen. Feels like a bit of a stretch. Tough sell for Chris Jones, who, by the way, will be on their podcast coming up on Friday. I know that we just played you the Taylor Swift stuff that came from it. If they talk to Chris Jones about his contract and any information is talked about during that thing, we will bring you some Chris Jones cuts, I imagine, coming up on Friday.
Yeah, they'll definitely joke about that because Chris Jones had a tweet on Sunday night or whatever, said basically like good win, something like definitely bumping Taylor Swift on the ride home or something like that was the tweet that Chris sent out.
I imagine they're going to joke about it. Good time. Last thing from Jason Kelce, who was over on our sister station WIP. He got asked what he thought her going to the game was going to be like, because obviously he found out ahead of time.
She's going to go to the game, and the whole world's going to lose their damn mind. That's exactly what I thought was going to happen. But I was just trying to be sarcastic.
See, that is definitely what happened. He's right about the brigade outside the suite. I mean, there must have been 10 at least law enforcement officers outside the field level suite.
Have you watched that Topsy's popcorn video yet?
I have.
Okay. Thoughts?
No.
Okay.
I don't think they said, hey, Taylor, we in Kansas City, our security plan, we can't come up with one, so we're going to have you go through a popcorn container through the concourse. No chance, man. And I know at concerts she does it. That's planned. That's at a concert. You're telling me that they can't come up with a security plan to get a celebrity through the concourse, that they had to put her in a Topsy's popcorn traveling container thing? No, I don't think that happened. You're buying it?
No, I just wanted your take. The last time I had mentioned it, you didn't know the video in which I was speaking of. I just wanted to know whether or not you thought that was the case.
No. I also am trying to give the benefit of the doubt. I would like to think that the chief security / law enforcement could come up with a better plan than putting her in a Topsy's popcorn container to get her through the concourse or down to the locker room area.
It's got to be kind of wild that you have to forewarn people you're going to show up to their business before just to make sure that things can go smoothly. Like, hey, just so you know, 4 days from now, I'll be in your building. Please plan accordingly. Oh, man. I don't know how much longer this story's going to keep going, but it feels like it's still got some juice left. Gold, I'm going to say it. I still think that there's some good life left in the whole Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift thing. And I'm telling you, man smitten. You guys should be happy. Travis Kelce, he's in love. Which means this relationship is going to continue at least for a little while longer.
I think at least through the football season. That's where I got bare minimum through football season. Then we'll see what happens the 6 months after.
November time, when she starts her tour back up in November and then she goes out of the country in February, that creates an interesting timeline of can he get to Tokyo for a show, after the season, depending on how the entirety of the Super Bowl run goes.
I was going to say, how long does her tour stretch into the
I'm not sure.
New offseason?
Not sure.
That might be something we see.
People have figured out long-distance relationships before.
Yeah, it turns out a little bit easier when you can just hop on a private jet, too. It's a little bit easier.
Yeah, but Travis can't just be using private jets all the time. A little expensive for him. I mean, he's worth $30 or $40 million.
I think they both can figure it out.
I'm sure she'll give access to
I think they'll both
whatever,
be all right.
whatever he
private
needs.
jet she owns.
Yeah.
I think they'll both be
She
just
probably
fine.
should just pop for that for a while. She's worth $1 billion, so.
All right, coming up next, we'll talk some Chiefs football, Chiefs-Jets on Sunday night. Our guy, Vinnie Pasquantino, our NFL insider, gets us set for our watch party on Sunday night as well, right here on Cody and Gold.
Chiefs fans, it's Scott Moore. Don't miss Cody and Gold weekdays starting at 10 on 610 Sports Radio.
Brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com.
Day one, Kansas City took me in. They didn't know who I was. They didn't know what we could become. No guarantees we'd succeed. Still, they took a chance, and so did Community America. They invested in me and the entire community. Invest in what you believe in with who you believe in. Because it's not just where you put your money, it's where your money puts you. Member-owned, open to all, Community America Credit Union. Invested in you.
In football, we love great combos, just like Sonic. What do you get when a melty grilled cheese meets a deliciously juicy burger topped with crispy bacon and creamy peppercorn ranch? The new Sonic Bacon Peppercorn Ranch. All of this greatness is put between buttery Texas toast. It's one of Sonic's best combos ever. And now you can get the Sonic grilled cheese burger with small fries or tots for just $3.99. But hurry, it's only for a limited time. So what are you waiting for? Get to Sonic today.
Hey everybody, this is Andrew Filipponi here, bringing you the parlay of the day, brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Week 5 of the college football season is here, so let's attack the biggest games and put them into a winning parlay. Going to take Oregon State -3 over number 10 Utah. I'll ride with number 3 Texas, laying big points against an undefeated Kansas team. I think Ole Miss upsets LSU at home on Saturday. Take them on the money line. And Notre Dame -5.5 is the right play at Duke. This line would be bigger if Notre Dame had gotten a stop on the last play against Ohio State, so you're getting value here. A $10 bet on this parlay pays over $130. That's it for the parlay of the day. Brought to you by FanDuel. Download the FanDuel app today and make every moment more with America's #1 sports book.
21 plus and present in Kansas. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Well, I want to tell you about another winner. It's my friends at Window World. They are ranked #1 in number of windows sold in the country by Qualified Remodeler magazine. They're also the official window of the Kansas City Chiefs. So you know the Chiefs are a winner. And Window World, they have windows that are one of 2 windows that are locked in with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. In just over 20 years of business, they have improved the look and thermal efficiency over 52,000 homes in Kansas City. Plus, your windows come with a lifetime warranty that covers all your parts, glass breakage, and labor. It also uses a double-strength glass. It gives it that extra strength that is not commonly used in your normal replacement windows. They are giving an incredible deal right now. They are offering 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. 18 months, that's a year and a half. So do me this favor. Give them a call for a free home estimate. Check out the website, and they can show you how they are simply the best for less. Fall is right around the corner. You know winter is going to be here before you know it. I want you to get ready, and the best way to do that is with my friends at Window World.
It's touchdown Kansas City when you sell your home to Rex at rexbuyskc.com. The champions when it comes to buying homes in Kansas City.
That's right, Mitch. We'll pay more for any home. No hassles or strings attached. We'll buy your home as is for quick, instant cash in only 7 days.
Every home seller scores more with Rex. Rex and his team buy homes for any reason. Bankruptcy, foreclosure, probate, damaged or vacant homes, as is, and you rush away with instant cash.
Homeowners, don't get sacked with a poor financial decision. Call me, Rex, now at 816-330-6000. Fair and honest prices, because we know bad things can happen to good people.
Tackled by big home improvement costs, roofs, plumbing, exteriors cost you thousands. Pocket that money and walk away debt and worry free.
Before you sign to sell, call me at 816-330-6000 or online at rexbuyskc.com.
Call the champions, Rex Buys Houses at 816-330-6000 or online at rexbuyskc.com.
Attention taxpayers. If you or your business owe the IRS back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, the IRS has green-lighted billions of dollars in tax relief to those facing financial hardship through its tax relief initiatives. If you have a delinquent tax problem and possibly facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, audits, or already in a payment plan, you may now qualify for significant relief. Qualifying and enrolling in this program could stop all collections, settle your tax problem, and may even reduce what you owe by up to 99%. Call the hotline at Tax Help USA to see if you qualify and receive your free tax assessment by dialing 800-593-0906. If you or your business owe back taxes to the IRS or state, you can now get the help that you need during these hard economic times. Get your free tax assessment to see what you qualify for by dialing 800-593-0906. 800-593-0906. That's 800-593-0906.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Did you know gas goes bad in as little as 30 days? Bad gas can cause rough starts, poor performance, or no starts at all. Stable, America's #1 fuel stabilizer, ensures quick and easy starts after storage. Stable's proprietary formula keeps fuel fresh for 2 years, outperforming competitors. Whether it's your car, truck, boat, lawnmower, leaf blower, weed trimmer, ATV, motorcycle, or anything else with an engine, when you store, start with Stable.
Hey everyone, this is Richard Deitch, and I host the sports media of the Richard Deitch Podcast. What can you expect from this podcast? Well, each week I'll have interviews and in-depth conversations with the people who bring you the sports you love, as well as roundtables with sports media reporters about television, digital, audio, radio, print, and other forms of media. If you are interested in sports broadcasting and how you watch, listen, and read about the games you love, listen on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The 610 Sports Radio phone line is brought to you by Onder Law Injury Lawyers. Visit getjim.com.
This report is brought to you by Drug Enforcement Administration in Kansas City.
Fentanyl is on the rise, making drug overdoses a leading cause of death. Join the fight against drugs. Visit DEA.gov/careers to learn about open positions and how to apply.
All right, just getting started on a Wednesday. Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapter Nixon with you. We'll get to the trash of the day in about 13 minutes or so. Also coming up in 30 minutes, Danan Hughes, former Chiefs wide receiver, part of the Chiefs radio network. He'll be in New York, or I guess the Meadowlands, New Jersey, on Sunday night when the Chiefs take on the New York Jets. And we know on Sunday night we've got our massive watch party, bragging rights, bets on the line, all sorts of stuff. We hope to see you guys out at Hollywood Casino, because our guy, Vinnie Pasquantino, our NFL insider, is going to be there. A couple of his Royals teammates hanging out. Great silent auction benefiting Wayside Waste. Vinny, good to have you on the show again, man. We're getting excited for Sunday night.
Yeah, I'm excited about it, too. I'm tossing a football around right now at Kauffman Stadium, just getting my mind right. Looking at the Tigers tonight, and then looking at the Tigers the next day, and then looking at the Yankees, and then I'm looking at the Chiefs, staring them right in the face.
Is throwing a football part of your rehab process?
Yes, it is. Working on some different things throwing right now, throwing a football. So football is good for your arm. So I got cleared to do some stuff yesterday. Not going to talk about that, but had a good doctor's visit with my surgeon. 14 weeks out today, and some things are happening.
Vinny, just real quick before we get to some of the other happenings around the NFL, which franchise is more cursed in your opinion? Is it the Chicago Bears or is it your New York Jets?
No, I don't believe in a curse of a team. I believe in teams that do things the right way, get the right results, if that makes sense. Okay. Things happen. So I don't believe in curses. I believe that you make your own bed, and if different things happen and you're either not prepared for them or just things just happen, that's just the way it goes. So you won't get me to believe in anything like that, because I believe in just, going out there and seeing what happens.
What can the Jets do on Sunday effectively against the Chiefs? Can they slow them down offensively? Can they run the ball better? What do the Jets need to do if they want to pull a massive upset?
I don't think it's going to be – I'm going to predict the game for you right now. I think the Chiefs are going to win by like 14, which isn't obviously a big number, but I think it's going to be a closer game than the scoreboard says. That's just my prediction. I do think the Chiefs are going to beat them pretty handily, though. But I think the Jets are going to hopefully force force some things to happen defensively, and then on offense, you're facing another really good defense, and they faced, I think it's 3 top 5 defenses in their first 3 weeks, but you never know if they're top 5 defenses because they're playing the Jets or not. So they're facing a really good one this weekend, and it's an elite defense Kansas City has. So, which is fun to say about the Chiefs, huh? In the past, it's been, wow, this offense is unbelievable. Can we at least just score more points than the other team? And now we're not going to give up that many points, and we're going to score a ton of points. So good for us.
Yeah. Seems a little unfair, honestly, for the rest of the league, Vinny.
Good organizations make good decisions. So Kansas City's made their bed, and they are laying in it right now. Yeah, they are. You go ahead.
I was going to say, there's a lot of noise, Vinny, out of New York, though, just around Robert Saleh, who's been backing up Zach Wilson, standing up for his guy, and there's some rumblings that maybe in the locker room, some of his own players are wondering, like, why are you sticking with this guy? If this was a defensive player, you already would have benched the guy.
Yeah, I get it. But we all know the quarterback position is probably the most unique in sports because of the importance there. So I think at that specific position, there's not always people behind you. Athleticism doesn't necessarily play at that position. I'm not saying it doesn't, but, if you're really fast and you're playing a different position, that helps. Quarterback's not exactly that position. So just one of those things where you got to try to show confidence in your guy, whether you have it or not. And I'm not in that clubhouse, obviously. None of us are. But it's, I can't imagine that's going over too well. But, I'm going to be a supportive fan and be excited to watch them on Sunday night. And hopefully they go out and shock the world, so to speak.
Let's look at some of the NFC side. I'm trying to decide for myself, so I'm curious of your opinion. Are you a believer in Jordan Love right now? Are you buying any of his stock?
I've watched 5 minutes of Packers football this season.
Okay.
So, once I get home, get out of Kansas City, I'm able to watch the all 11s of all the teams. I'll have more information for you there. But yeah, I haven't seen all but too much of him because when I have Red Zone on, I haven't seen too much of the Packers. So they've won some games, and that's pretty exciting. And I'd be terrified if I was a Bears fan that that's happening again to them. That Green Bay just 3 quarterbacks in 30 years or whatever, and they hit on all of them. And the Jets have taken 8 in the past 3 years, and none of them have worked out. So, I would feel good if I'm a Packers fan.
Are you and Michael Massey just finding common ground in misery right now with your football teams?
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure once the season ends, too, there will be even more miserable football talk because he's finishing up a season right now. He's locked in on what the Royals are doing, as he should be. So I don't think he's watching as much Bears football as he will be when the baseball season ends, but I'm sure he'll lock in here shortly on it. And, as we move forward year to year, we're hoping that he's not going to be watching much Bears football until November.
Vinny, how is your fantasy football team looking? At least on that end. I know you're doing with the team.
Garbage. It's not good. It's not good. I'm not happy with where I'm at. I'm having the most fun I'm having in a dynasty league, though. I'm having a lot of fun. I control the draft next year. I have 4 first-round picks. I traded the team. I'm in a full rebuild, which I'm having a lot of fun with. So fans of my team are not happy with me, and I get it. As fans, you want your team to win all the time. But as my stake of ownership in my team goes, I'm looking towards the future in that team.
Uh-huh. Now, what about the Royals Fantasy Football League? Can you tell us who's actually doing well?
Who is doing well? Taylor Clark's pretty good. MJ Melendez is pretty good. Zach's pretty good. Those 3 guys are probably the top of the league. If I'm missing somebody, they're not listening to this anyway, so I won't be. They're not going to give me a bunch of crap for it.
Nick, Vinny, so they just changed all of the way they did some of the rule stuff for baseball. What happens, in your opinion, with the tush push? Should they get rid of it for Philadelphia?
Figure out a way to stop it. It's not illegal. I mean, what makes it illegal, I guess, is what I'd ask.
Nothing.
It makes it
technically, that's why they can do it.
Because they get it done 95% of the time or whatever. That makes it illegal and unfair to other teams. Like, my biggest thing is other teams have tried to do it and they're not as successful, so why should Philadelphia be punished for that? But, as a person who lives in Kansas City half the year, screw the Eagles.
Well, we don't even feel that bad for the Eagles. They've got a brother of a player that the Chiefs like, and they beat him in the Super Bowl at least, Then you don't have to hate them as much. You hate the teams that you lose to. That's typically how it works, right? I assume you will forever hate the Patriots.
Screw the Jets, That's what you guys are going to be saying after this weekend.
Oh, you
we'll
think
never hear the
end
end
of
of it
I think we're good on this bet. I think we're good Sunday night, not stressing out at all. You should be sweating a little bit.
And I'm sure 90% of the country that was playing survivor pools last week felt really good about the Cowboys.
That's fair. That's very fair. So you're kind of saying we should be on watch, on notice a little bit.
Yeah, I would be, and I'm going to be in your face the whole time. So I'd be a little, and I got nothing to lose. It's a 9.5 point spread. So what do I have to worry about?
Now, what kind of items though can people see when they go out to Hollywood? What kind of items can people bid on?
So we've got a few jerseys, a few really cool jerseys. We've got some baseballs. I've got a pair of game-used cleats. You're going to get a lot of Vinnie Pasquantino items. That's for sure. So, and if nobody bids on them, I'll just take them home with my happy self. So that's not up to me. The cards lie where they will.
What's your table game? We go to the casino. You a blackjack, roulette? What's your game?
I'm a blackjack guy. So I'll probably find my way over there at some point. See if I could take Hollywood Casino for everything they own.
Again, the watch party this Sunday night, Turn 2 Sports Bar. We'll be hanging out there watching the Chiefs beat down the Jets and some really cool silent auction items, and it all benefits Wayside Waves. But before we let you go, Vinny, want to get your reaction? Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce. I mean, this thing's blowing up.
No. I'm going to hang up. I told Cody you asked me about this. I'm going to hang up. But there is one more thing I want to say, which we talked about last night. Am I still good to talk about it?
Yes, please do.
Okay, so I have in my possession 50-yard line seats, aisle seats, row 13, right above the Chiefs bench this weekend in MetLife. I know it's a little short to the game. I probably should have said something about it earlier. If somebody steps up and makes a sizable donation to Wayside Waifs, tickets are yours. I won't give you the tickets until Sunday morning because I don't trust anybody to not resell them.
Right.
But tickets are yours. If you're going up there, you make a pretty sizable donation that we all agree on for it. This is something that we talked about a little bit last night, but it doesn't have to be done. It's not something that is necessary. But yeah, if somebody steps up and wants to help Wayside Waifs out, which I'm going over there today, then we could figure something out for somebody to sit right on the 50. I'll send you a picture of my.
They're
seats.
amazing seats.
You guys can post them. So yeah.
So we'll offer those up.
And if somebody does that and are mean to the people around my seats, I'm never talking to you again because they're great. They're great people. So, yeah, that's what I got.
You can just say that you're filling in for Vinny. So if you're willing to do that, hit up Vinny or hit us up. If you're willing to make that donation, we'll send out a photo of where Vinny's seats are.
Yes.
I've seen a photo of them. They are incredible, by the way. So if you're either planning on going to New York or
who I am, if the people don't know who I am around them, I just know that they're very nice.
Oh.
Don't drop my name and tell them what I do.
I got you.
Just enjoy the seats.
Just enjoy the seats. As far as they know, you're just Vinny from Jersey who likes the Jets.
That's right.
Fantastic.
Exactly.
That's perfect. Okay. All right. So, yeah, we'll work on that. And obviously, it's all in support of Wayside Waves, so hopefully we can make that happen. Either way, we'll see you out there Sunday night, man.
Yep. Sounds good. Appreciate it, guys.
There you go. That's Vinnie Pasquantino joining us here as he does each and every week. And really excited about the event Sunday night, but you just heard that at the end. So he's a season ticket holder for the Jets. He's got amazing 50-yard line seats. He's obviously not going to the Jets game. But if you are already planning on going to New York this weekend or New Jersey this weekend or can all of a sudden make your way out there, you can
send in Vinny's
respond
seats
to a tweet that we'll send out or Vinny will send out, coordinate a little bit. It has to be a sizable donation to Wayside Waves. You guys can organize and agree on the price.
Very nice seats.
Yeah, these aren't cheap seats. We'll just say that. And it sounds like if you guys can come to terms on that, then Vinny would send the seats. But again, that's going to be Sunday because I'm not going to let you just donate a small amount of money and then just flip the seats.
Vinny's not going to ghost you. He is very reliable. He very much wants to help Wayside Waves. That's why he's donating all this stuff for our watch party on Sunday at Hollywood Casino. So if you're already going to New York and you're looking for a seat upgrade and are willing to make a donation to Wayside Waves, or if you're just thinking, I got cash and I'm going to go to New York and I'm going to go watch the Chiefs play in Vinnie Pasquantino seats, you can do that. My favorite part is that the people around him are nice, the season ticket holders.
They don't know who he is.
But he
It's
doesn't
great.
realize he's a professional baseball player.
That's fantastic, though, right?
It's nice, Vinny, and we've talked about this with Vinny before. Like, he is a Major League Baseball player, but he's only been a Major League Baseball player for so long. He can still somewhat kind of live his life and nobody realize, hey, that's a pro baseball player. They might be like, hey, that's a tall guy. But they don't necessarily think pro baseball player right away every time. So he gets to kind of lay in the weeds a little bit. So let us know. The text line will monitor a little bit. We'll also monitor our social media pages. Just as soon as Vinny sends me the photo out, we will send it out as well where the seats are. And if you're willing to or able to, you can have a good time in New York.
If not, we'll see you Sunday night out at Turn 2 Sports Bar inside Hollywood Casino. Drew's going to be there. You can give him a hard time for being a Bengals fan. You can do whatever you want.
What's he going to wear for that?
Drew? Yeah, don't wear it. Don't you dare.
He's not going to wear it.
Don't you dare to a Chiefs-Jets watch party wear your bright orange Cincinnati Bengals jersey.
I will not do that. I'm not going to wear green. I will not wear red. I will just wear a regular old color. How about
just a shirt?
I will wear my KC shirt with the heart, the blue
Perfect.
KC shirt.
Perfect.
There you go.
That
Someone
works.
says we're going to sneak Vinny into a casino via popcorn cart.
Yeah.
It'd have to be a pretty good sized popcorn cart. Vinny's he's a big guy.
He is. Yeah, turns out a little bit bigger than Taylor Swift, huh? Yeah, I think so. It's going to be a little challenging for that to happen.
Taylor Swift's not. I mean, she's pretty tall, isn't she?
Yeah, but come on now.
I mean, I know she's not as tall as Vinny. I'm just saying she's kind of taller.
Come on now.
She's 5'11". She's good height. That's all. Just making a reference. The text line is very much. I'll ask him. Sorry, text line. Someone said, "Hey, I'm going to the Chiefs Get in New York. Can you ask him for recommendations?" I'll ask him personally, and I'll text you back later.
Someone says how many seats he's already going there. I believe it's a pair of tickets.
2.
Yeah, it's a pair of tickets.
Correct. Depending on how many of you are going, it's 2. I don't think he's got a.
We're talking about for the Jets game.
Yeah. So again,
in person, not for the watch party. The watch party is open to the public.
No, and we know that so many people can go to New York. Here's part of the thing: is Vinny could have gone, right? It's the last game of the Royal season. He could have flown out to New York and gone to the Jets game. He wanted to instead spend that time in Kansas City with you, which is why we're going out to Hollywood Casino, so that we could have fun camaraderie between the two of us. Oh, Chiefs versus Jets. And Vinny will absolutely, without question, talk trash if things are going the way they are. And you are more than welcome to give it back if the Chiefs are absolutely rolling the Jets. But if you're going and you're interested, let us know. If not, we'll see you Sunday night at Hollywood Casino. Are you looking at something? You look focused.
Yeah. Coming up in 15 minutes, we'll be joined by Danan Hughes. No, I was going to get to the trash of the day, but I didn't know if you wanted to talk about what you were actually planning on talking about here. But we can get to the trash of the day if you would like.
Yeah, let's do trash of the day.
Trash of the day.
All right, trash of the day. For this one, we go to the classroom a little bit. Yeah, you still have kids, or you have kids in school, I should say. But we've all been in the classroom a little bit. And you know there was always some kid that maybe intentionally tried to get out of class a little bit, or maybe just used the bathroom excuse. Well, a teacher's fed up with that. Now, a teacher's getting destroyed on Reddit forum for this, but that's because she had a cruel and unusual policy in which she allowed students only to use the bathroom 3 times a month. That's it. 3 times a month. That is to the extent that you were allowed to use the restroom in her class. And it was outlined in a note the unidentified teacher had issued to her peers per a Reddit post that has been blowing up online. Now, I don't know why. All of a sudden, she just had it, and she had a problem with students that continue to just go to the restroom on a regular basis. But you can't be putting in a policy like this. You can't be doing that.
It might be illegal. Can you, even enforce this? And also, what are you doing, a tally system? I mean, the odds, I'll say this, in the teacher's defense. Let's say you see this kid. Let's say it's not even block. Let's say it's not block scheduling, and you see him 5 days a week, right? So 5 days a week, you see them for the regular class. They got a million other classes they could be going. 3 times a month is way, way too low. What if people have bowel issues? You just can't do this. And teachers generally do a fantastic job. I always feel like it's usually the administrators that screw this up. I saw the one the other day that a school got buried because they were like, hey, it's Ice Cream Friday. You bring $1, you'll get this locally made ice cream. It'll be great. But if your account balance is negative, no dice. Not even if you bring the money for the ice cream. You're like, let's not do this.
Someone says at Oak Grove, you can only use the bathroom during class 2 times a year. Outside of that, you have to use the bathroom during your in-between class time. Now, I know kids are taking advantage of this, but I don't know how you truly can enforce the 3 times a month deal. But I get why the teacher's frustrated. Because I'm sure every 5 minutes, a different kid was asking to go to the restroom.
Yeah, I mean, okay, when I was in high school, there'd be a point where the teachers just didn't care, and that's on the kid. The teacher can only do so much. I'm here to help you. I want you to be here, but if you want to go and walk around the building and skip class, that is on you now. The rest of the class will learn, and that's your problem. I'll bring it up to your parents.
I'll just tell you right now.
That is a you issue.
The first time one kid pees their pants in that class, it's done. Done. They're done. This policy's done. It's over. Like, people are like, man, they're just going to vape in the bathroom. I'm sorry, this is part of school. Part of it is trying to figure out how to, like, monitor cell phones and who's smoking in the bathroom. I can't control that. This is just part of that's part of the
Teachers
job.
are incredible, and they always deserve to be paid more than what they are. But I think this is a case of the teacher caring too much about teaching
It's a bad
their students. There's no need
Oh,
to
she's
do
getting
it.
crushed.
Yeah.
This teacher's getting crushed for the policy.
I mean, how badly did somebody abuse this system to even feel like 3? Like, why not 5? Or, like, what's a number in which you would have been like, okay, that's fine? Like 10? Like, it's like, look, if you have to use my bathroom more than 10 times a month, you have got to find a different time to go to the bathroom every day. This is insane. Make a plan. Have a better plan. Go to the bathroom before you show up to my class or whatever, right?
Every day at 10:02, Johnny's going to the bathroom.
Maybe that's his time.
At
Maybe
10:02.
that's his time that he has to go to the restroom.
Re-regulate.
Re-regulate. Someone says, I speak for most parents. Go ahead and let my child have an accident, and I'll be on the news very quickly. Yeah, someone will be trying to sue him. It'll be a lawsuit to the school district.
Yes.
Very quickly.
That's just, I don't know why you would open yourself up to that. The question you were asking me if I wanted to ask, and I just think it's a fair one at this point. Just, is there a time in which you think we can officially count on Kadarius Toney? Because I know he's played in all 3 games, and we
Yes.
made a big deal about the games played. But let's admit something between the two of us. He's essentially not played football.
The snaps have been so limited.
He has been playing about 10 snaps a game total. He played 2 in the last one, and he didn't have to play in it. They were blowing him out. It's actually weirdly makes me feel more optimistic about the offense because they're able to score and be good enough to win football games. And there, into the season, number 1 wide receiver has been a non-factor. What I'm asking is, when are we allowed to count on Kadarius Toney again? Because we're 3 weeks in and the answer has been not yet. Can I by 6, week 7? Like, what is the line? Because I'd like it to be before the midpoint of the season that Kadarius Toney is a regular contributor to this offense, and I don't have to think it's game on, game off for him or 10 snaps a game for him. And then when they need him in the fourth quarter to play 15 snaps to try to get some points, he's available.
Yeah, I would like to think in another week or so the sprained toe should not be a problem. I think right now that's the biggest issue. I think week 1 was he was coming back from the knee injury and was not part of the flow of the offense during camp at all because he wasn't there. And then the first game week practice, he was limited there. It was a short week. He plays on Thursday and, of course, had the drop problems. Wasn't in sync with the offense. Well, then he has a sprained toe. So I think if you can tell me when you think the sprained toe injury is not a problem. So I'm guessing another week or so to answer your question. That's when you can count on him, when he's not hindered by that. Because I think the timing thing on the knee, I think the knee thing's done. That just
You think we're done there?
That was impacting his early timing. Now I wonder if the sprained toe actually is something that is preventing him from playing. I think what happened last week, though, all right, he was already probably on a pitch count, if you will, but then the game got so out of hand. They're just why are we going to push somebody with a sprained toe that has an injury history
But then part of
when
me just
we're
wonders,
blowing him out?
Why even play him in week 1 then? If he's only available for 15 snaps and you're trying to get him healthy, why the hell did you ever
I think we
play
saw
him?
why he was available in week 1, because he was getting open. He just didn't catch the ball. That's why he was playing. They didn't have Kelce. He was the one guy on offense they felt like could get open, and he did. He just couldn't grab the ball and haul in the catch.
I understand the, from a physical play standpoint, but I mean, the man's played 37 snaps.
Yeah.
He's playing 12 snaps a game, 18%. He was playing more snaps per game for the Jets last year.
Giants.
Yeah. He couldn't get on the field for the Giants. Sorry, it's Jets week.
It is.
But when you start looking at the statistics on it, it's like, I want to know that you can rely on Kadarius Toney. This is kind of to me, it's starting to border on the Joe Burrow thing, which is, hey, if you had to sit him for 2 straight weeks and then you could tell me we're good, his toe's fine, his knee's good, and we can start counting on him, then I think I'd maybe take that trade-off. I am, however, optimistic that he is playing 0. They thought, and still think, I think in a way, that he might be their most talented wide receiver. I don't think there's any real question about that. He's barely been on the field, and they're still scoring okay.
Oh, you see, I get you now. You're optimistic that since he hasn't played at all, that they're doing this.
The offense has another gear.
Gotcha.
We're talking about the offense definitely has another gear if Tony's actually playing for this team at some point. And then they're much harder to guard. This is giving Rashee Rice and Sky more chances to get comfortable in their part. Toney rolls right in, and all of a sudden you got lots of weapons you are interested in throwing to versus who's the person who's going to get open on this particular play. I feel like it's a good thing, objectively, for the offense that we've definitely not seen their best because Toney's not really been available. My fear is that this is a full year's worth of injury because it already took away his entire offseason. Now he's already gotten a second injury that is taking up his time in the regular season to go with the offseason injury. We're not that far into the season, but he hasn't played. I want the game where he gets 60% of the wide receiver snaps and we get a good look at him.
Right now, only question I have is anybody getting, other than Kelce, is anybody going to be getting 60% of the wide? I mean, they're rotating in so many guys. I'll be curious to see how many guys. I mean, Sky Moore had been running. I think
MVS is getting
he's
way
been on the
more
field
than
the
that.
most. Yeah, I mean, so that's the question. Like, are we going to get to a point where Kadarius Toney is getting that even if he was healthy? I don't know what their initial plan was for him. We'll talk to a former.
Do you want your number? I can tell you what percentage of snaps.
Go for it.
MVS is getting 67% of the snaps.
Okay.
Oh God, of course no. I'm sorry. That's for some reason I searched it and then immediately got last year's percentages like an annoying.
Oh.
That was what he got last season. He's actually getting significantly more than that now. When you look across the board right now, Sky Moore is getting 64%. MVS is getting 65%. Noah Gray is getting more snaps than either wide receiver right now. Justin Watson 38%. Rashee Rice 33%.
Sounds about right based off yours watching.
Richie James 12%. So, like those percentages are out of whack. But my guess is that the 21% that Justin Ross is getting will go way down once Kadarius Toney is healthy, or maybe even the Justin Watson snaps will go way down. There's plenty of room for him to play that same 60% you're seeing out of MVS and Sky Moore, or at least 50% of the offensive snaps. Right now we're getting 12.
We'll talk to former Chiefs wide receiver Danan Hughes coming up next. I want to ask him about Kadarius Toney and that sprained toe. Is that something that's going to linger all year? I'm sure it's an injury that Danan maybe dealt with in his playing career. We'll get to that next here on Cody and Gold.
There's Kelce to the end zone.
Cody and Gold brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com. Don't miss the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day at 11:30 on your official broadcast partner of the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
Get ready to start the NFL week off right. Right now, all customers can get a no-sweat same-game parlay for Thursday Night Football. Just place a 3-leg same-game parlay on this week's game between the Lions and Packers, and you'll get bonus bets back if you don't win. NFL same-game parlays are the perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payday. Build your own or choose from one of the popular SGPs pre-built for you in FanDuel's top-rated sportsbook app. Visit FanDuel.com/610Bob so you don't miss out on your chance to get a no-sweat same-game parlay on America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL and of 610 Sports Radio. 21 and present in Kansas. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Pure at 350 Highway and Nolan Road has Kansas City's best VIP rooms, Kansas City's most beautiful women, and Kansas City's wildest post-game party till 3 a.m. Pure at 350 Highway and Nolan Road. The best VIP rooms, beautiful women, and now open Sunday so you can celebrate a KC victory with the best post-game party in town till 3 a.m. Pure 350 Highway and Nolan Road.
Luke Combs here, and I have an exclusive opportunity for you to win $500,000 with the Living Lucky with Luke Combs lottery experience. Join me in Nashville for a private concert at the iconic Ryman Auditorium. One lucky winner will win $500,000 at the end of the show. Y'all feeling lucky? Enter today.
Enter your Living Lucky with Luke Combs Scratchers tickets at MoLottery.com for a chance to win a private concert experience and a chance at $500,000. Play it forward with the Missouri Lottery and play responsibly.
Hi, it's Trey Smith, and in order for our team to get a victory, we need honesty, teamwork, work ethic, humility, and the golden rule. That's why my truck is from the dealer that embodies all those values, Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram also supports Giving Hope, whose sole purpose is to feed and clothe the needy in Wyandotte County and beyond. Giving back in the highest integrity, that's how Jeff and his team do business. For your next vehicle, visit or go to VictoryChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com.
Hi, it's Derek Johnson, and I know there's nothing better than being part of a team.
a group of great people you can count on and learn from. The Sheet Metalworkers, local number 2, are growing their team and looking for quality men and women who want to build Kansas City's future. While you're making KC a better place, you'll also get great pay and benefits while gaining lifelong skills. Explore the possibilities at sheetmetal2.org. That's sheetmetal2.org. And take a step towards a fulfilling and rewarding way of life.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-873-7171. 800-873-7171. 800-873-7171.
Hey, Chiefs Kingdom, it's Bob Fesco. This NFL season, Crown Royal is giving back to the generous hosts that make game day royal. To the fans that open their doors and celebrate Kansas City game day, cheering on our tight end with a plate full of burnt ends. So raise a glass for the hosts of every watch party and kick off with Crown, because Crown Royal believes if you live generously, life will treat you royally. Visit crownroyal.com to find out how Crown is living generously all season long. Please drink responsibly.
You're always better with a roof from JR.
Well, on the first day of fall, the only thing that was falling was hail, and a lot of it. Don't wait for some hungry, storm-chasing roofer from out of town to tell you your roof's a mess. There's an easier and safer way to know for sure. Online, from locally owned JR & Company. Just visit jrhailcheck.com. Plug in your address and we'll pull a hail report. If there's nothing there, you have hassle-free peace of mind. And if it looks like you got hit, we'll come out and do a free inspection and help with any insurance claim. Veteran-owned JR & Company will never try to sell you a roof you don't need. But if you do need a new roof, remember, a roof from JR comes with a lifetime workmanship warranty. Just visit jrhailcheck.com.
Always better with a roof from JR.
Visit jrhailcheck.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-920-4487. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-920-4487. 800-920-4487. 800-920-4487.
You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Max Motors Studios.
Chiefs Kingdom, this is Mitch Holtis. Catch me every Monday with CDOT on The Drive at 4 o'clock right here on your official broadcast partner of the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
KCSP Kansas City, WDAF HD2 Liberty, always live on the free Odyssey app.
My life be like, yeah. My life be like,
11 o'clock hour. It's Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. Miner coming up 45 minutes. We're heading out to Arrowhead. You're going to hear from Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and maybe Travis Kelce. We don't know. Players usually also speak on top of the regularly scheduled players and coach.
Can't think of a player they want to hear from more.
I'm guessing every single member of the media has requested Travis Kelce. The question is Travis Kelce willing to speak at the podium today? We know he had his new Heights podcast that came out today. We already played a little bit of that for you. I actually think this is perfect. I want to get Danan Hughes perspective, not only on Kadarius Toney, but what a locker room might be like right now when you have one of your teammates dating, I don't know, one of the most famous people on earth. Danan Hughes, former Chiefs wide receiver, of course, part of the Chiefs radio network. You'll hear him on the call Sunday night in the Meadowlands, along with Mitch Holthus, Josh Klingler, and Dan Israel. Danan, I know you didn't have a teammate dating anybody to this level of fame, but did you have a teammate ever dating someone that was kind of famous? And either way, what do you think his teammates and the guys in the locker room are kind of telling him right now?
So I'm sure, to answer your question, I don't think I had any teammates that definitely didn't date anybody at this level famous, but there were some, like I was asked this question the other day, and there were some stars, some sitcom stars, movie stars that were around, like when we went out of town and we played in LA or other cities back on the East Coast. It seems like they had known people. We had Derek Thomas, Neil Smith. I mean, we had guys that were pretty, known, high profile, but nothing to the extent of Taylor Swift. But I have to imagine that the conversation or the interaction in the locker room is like this. Yeah! Oh, my man! That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, my man! Oh! That's pretty much it. Right?
Yeah. When you invite everyone to Prime Show, and when you invite everyone to Prime Social, do you have to invite everyone, like long snappers included? How far down does the guest list have to be when you start inviting everyone out to a closed restaurant you've paid for?
Well, I feel like, if you're talking about the players coming, maybe some significant others, I don't know what the capacity is at Prime Social, but it seems like, especially with the weather as it was, they had that little outside deck area. And you could probably fit 100 or so people. So I feel like they probably left it wide open to everybody, but probably outside of Patrick and maybe a few other people, probably relegated it to just +1. Maybe come solo. Maybe depending on who you are, you can add another 1 or 2 people. So I don't know if you can get away with not inviting the entire locker room to something like that. Like maybe not the rookies. The rookies. They may. And who knows? The rookies may not even want to show up because they might get stuck with the bill. So you got to be careful. By
the way, Danan, in that scenario, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift there, and you get stuck with the bill. Something's wrong at that point.
Yeah, definitely wrong. But you leave it up to the players. Though you got to tread lightly when you're a rookie. You never want to overexpose yourself. Don't leave your wallet sitting in your locker. Don't make sure nowadays guys don't have your Apple Pay or anything like that because something could show up. I've known some characters that would take every opportunity to stick it to a rookie if they had to, just for kicks and grins. So you got to be careful.
From the wide receiver perspective, Danan, we were asking a question about Kadarius Toney. To this point, he just hasn't been available in any capacity for the Chiefs. What I'm asking is, when will he be available for the Chiefs? He's played 12% of the snaps. He's played 12 snaps a game, Danan. They're still able to score points right now, but at some point, if this experiment's going to work, he's got to be on the field. When do you think we'll be able to count on the full version of Kadarius Toney?
Yeah, I think even outside of the injury sustained that kept him out of training camp and out of the preseason games, it was actually a question to me going into the season. Because even with the success in the playoffs, specifically in the Super Bowl, like the one thing, and it's hard to be critical of a Super Bowl winning team, but the one thing, if I'm looking like every coach does, like a lot of the fans, okay, how are we going to be better? And we can't stay the same. Coaches always used to tell me, you never stay the same. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. And that's the mindset of professional athletics. It's the mindset of all athletics. Is every day you're looking to get better. So after the Super Bowl, and when we didn't really go after anybody big and as far as a receiver, my mindset went, okay, how are we going to get better? How is each individual person going to get better? So for a player like Marquez Valdez-Scantling, it was like, okay, I want to see more volume. I want to see more catches across the middle, traffic catches, especially since we didn't have Juju Smith-Schuster. He's shown that he can stretch the field, but I want to see some of those other plays made. To this point, he's done a solid job. Still could use a little bit more volume, but done a solid job. For Kadarius Toney, it was about, okay, everything we saw, or at least most everything we saw last year from him was horizontal. It was sideline to sideline, swing routes, jet sweeps, the arrow route that he ran in the Super Bowl. It was that. So if we're talking about a receiver being a mainstay in an offense, especially with Patrick Mahomes, there has to be some vertical game. There has to be lining up on the numbers, lining up inside the numbers, and running 10-yard, 12-yard, 15-yard, 22-yard routes, like every other receiver, like we see with Devontae Adams and other receivers. And with the injury sustained, and now with the lack of time on the field, I just don't know if we've ever seen that and when we will. So as far as being a force on this offense, yeah, they're going to create opportunities for him to exploit defenses. But as far as being a mainstay on offense, one, you got to stay healthy, and two, you got to be a vertical threat. And that's where the jury's still out for him.
We're talking former Chiefs wide receiver Danan Hughes. You'll hear him on the Chiefs radio network Sunday night over on 106.5 The Wolf. Shifting to the defensive side of the ball, I think a couple weeks ago we were talking about Trent McDuffie with you. And right now, Pro Football Focus has him as the best corner in football. Is this just now we're starting to see people starting to recognize just how talented this kid is? Does he look better even than he did at the end of last season to you?
Oh, absolutely. To me, if we had to have a defensive MVP at this early part of the season, it would be Trent McDuffie. And the first time it jumped out to me was in week 1, even in the loss. He caused a fumble. He led the team in tackles, which I want to say that might be one of the first times that I've seen someone not named Nick Bolton lead the team in tackles, even though it was only by 1 tackle. He still led the team in tackles. And I think last year, again, it's kind of almost tied into something similar with Kadarius Toney is last year he getting hurt against the Arizona Cardinals in game 1 kind of affected him and his growth process the entire season. He didn't have very many big plays caught against him. He got caught up with the one in the Super Bowl. But for the most part, he's been as solid a corner as we've seen around here in a long time. And now he's added physicality to his game. Think about when L'Jarius Sneed went down last year and they used Jalen Watson outside on one side, Joshua Williams outside on the other side. And when we needed that nickel presence that was going to be a blitz guy working on the inside, who was that? Trent McDuffie. And what that did for his game was elevated so that now he is a much more complete corner. He's making plays in the backfield. He caused another fumble. He's blitzing off the corner. And to me, as far as a complete corner, there's not very many better that I can name than Trent McDuffie and how he's playing right now. It's very impressive to see that for a second-year guy who had to basically sit out for a portion of his first year.
Danan, I know that this is Super Bowl years does not always mean it's the best team. Sometimes the best team doesn't win the big game. We know it works a couple different ways. If you're comparing this year's team to last year's team, do you think this year's team is better?
Ooh, that's a tough question because we're only in week 3 or just coming out of week 3. So that makes it a little tough at this point. I will say this. If we stay healthy, we can definitely be a better team than we were last year. And the main reason I would say that is because of how the defense is playing. The fact that, how they've given up points, only 3 touchdowns total this season. Who would have thought? Who would have thought throughout this entire Patrick Mahomes era that we would have a defense that would be this kind of shutdown defense. So how that helps the entire team, or how that puts a focus on the entire team as far as can we be better? Absolutely, we can definitely be a better football team as long as we stay healthy and continue to grow in how we're playing right now. And when the offense catches up, like, this is going to be a force. And we're already a force, but this is going to be like, it could be unfair. And I think that's going to bode well for the Chiefs Kingdom. And we become spoiled, man. We don't just look to the playoffs. We're looking deep into the playoffs and for Super Bowl runs. And as long as we stay on this track, I feel really, really good about this organization.
The thing for me is, like, how could we have predicted it? I'm glad that it went this way because that's where they've thrown all their resources, Danan. 2 first-round picks last year on defense, or 2 years ago on defense. They, in this last draft, 75% of their draft picks were on defense. Their big free agent dollars have been a lot on defense. Like, I felt like this was their plan. I thought Brett Veach thought to himself right after that 2018 season, be like, you know what? I'm never going to have a defense like that again. And then he just kept reinvesting into the defense over and over again until it came to this.
Oh, absolutely. You got to give credit to Brett Veach and the scouting department because of the job they've done. And that's tough because you think about the dynamic of, man, we got this guy named Patrick Mahomes, who's the best quarterback in the game, maybe one of the best to ever play the game. And we can continue to flood him with weapons, and Andy Reid could be salivating at opportunities to create game plans that would expose teams, and we could become, the greatest show on natural turf, and go that route and just hope that the defense doesn't lose us games. But it takes a lot to focus on, okay, now we know what we have on offense. Let's go ahead and complement this offense with a solid defense, and then finding the right guys, finding the right pieces, all blue-collar guys, no superstars, no divas, just blue-collar, hard-working guys that complement each other extremely well. Really impressive because we've seen a lot of teams not do this. We've seen a lot of teams hope and wish for dominance and drafting certain guys and drafting for certain positions based on need, and it didn't work out for them. It hasn't worked out for them. Look at the Jets who we're playing this week. Look at the Browns in the past. I mean, we can go through the list. Look at the Packers with Aaron Rodgers not really ever getting it all put together to be able to have this kind of run and reign in the NFL. So it's impressive, and it just tells you about the plan that Brett Veach has and how he's able to implement that plan and have everybody in the organization buy in.
Former Chiefs wide receiver Danan Hughes, appreciate it as always, man. Have a great call, great weekend trip up to the Meadowlands.
Absolutely, man. Going up there, give me some real pizza, going back home, so I'm looking forward to it.
There you go. There you go. Danan Hughes, he joins us each and every week here on Cody and Gold. You like New York-style pizza, I got nothing wrong with that. I prefer Chicago deep dish, but New York-style pizza is great.
That's just the wrong take.
No, you just don't like it.
It's just the wrong New York-style pizza.
You've never liked Chicago pizza. That's fine.
Clearly
That's
the
fine.
better. It's not that I've never had it.
I've
had Chicago-style pizza multiple times.
Yeah.
It's not pizza, I think, is my biggest complaint with it. It's objectively not pizza.
I know everybody calls it lasagna. I mean, I've heard the complaints.
New York pizza's better.
All right.
Yeah, I prefer Chicago, but I also, as a city, prefer Chicago over New York. But yeah,
have you been to New York?
I've been in New York City. I have.
Okay, I was about to say you're like.
I've told you this.
I was like, you just bagging a city you've never been to?
I've said it on there before. Going to both cities, from a visiting and living, but certainly from a living perspective, there's no chance I would ever live in New York City. No chance. Would rather
Zero,
live,
huh?
Yeah, no chance would ever live in New York City.
0%.
Yeah, 0 for me. Would never live in New York City.
I think I'm along with you. I don't think I could see myself ever living in New York City. I visited a couple of times. My uncle lived in New York City, and he got out. And
he got out. I love
loved
it.
it.
Like,
Wait, said it.
I love that. Yeah, he got out.
A lot more spacious.
No, a weekend in New York City. No, it's
great.
It's unbelievable. It's if you haven't been at least once, you got to go once. But I've been to Chicago enough to know, like, if you told me that I was quote unquote like forced to live there, I'd be happy, I'd be good. New York City, I'd be miserable.
Miserable?
Yeah. It's dirty and just no, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, just taking down the whole city, huh?
No, to visit New York City's fine. Live, no chance. That's all.
Well, I mean, you're still calling it dirty even when you
Well,
visit it.
I mean, come on. You have to admit, New York City is dirty.
It's not as clean as Kansas City. There's less people.
Chicago's cleaner than New York City.
New York City is
Dirty.
dirty.
I'm not saying that you can't go to places in Chicago and in the alley see rats there too. You can. I'm just saying
sure.
New York City, it's just very dirty. That's all.
Okay.
All right, let's get to what's your fantasy as we get to week 4. Paul Charchian will not join us this week because we got a short show tomorrow, so we got to pick up the slack, guys, a little bit. I did send out an invite for Guillotine League, who got chopped, did not receive a response back. So we haven't had anybody the last 2 weeks that got chopped that actually want to speak up.
No.
Explain their team
not
getting
wanting
chopped.
to own it.
But we, all three of us, Pete Sweeney, still around in the Cody and Gold Guillotine League. Congrats to our listeners that are still hanging around. Last week, Big Wolf got chopped from the Guillotine League. But there's no doubt in fantasy football, a lot of the waivers processed already. Devin Chan, right? That's what he wants to go by now?
Chan, not Chan.
Not Shane. He was the biggest pickup this week after ridiculous performance.
Although anybody not holding on to Tank Dell was also finally getting on board with that.
233 yards and 4 touchdowns.
He hadn't touched the ball in 2 weeks.
No, and then Tank
He's
Dell.
going to be a bust. You're going to
Tank-
regret picking up Chan.
Tank Dell, 5 of 7 targets, 145 yards and a score. Those were the two most popular pickups that are available in your league. Further down, I think some people are taking a look at Joshua Palmer because now that Mike Williams is out for the season, most people already had the rookie, Quentin Johnston, on their team.
I've seen him available in leagues. Would you rather have Josh Palmer or Quentin Johnston? The problem is Josh Palmer, once Mike Williams went down, played 100% of the snaps.
He got 4 of the 7 targets. That's the issue.
And he played 100% of the snaps after he went down, after Mike Williams went down. So you're just like,
Quentin Johnston's going to be the better player long term. But Joshua Palmer, short term, I think might get more targets early on than Quentin Johnston. We got our guillotine bids to put in later. We'll see what direction you're heading in. Patrick Mahomes is available in our
league. I have put so many different bids in. My whole team's racked. I had Mike Williams in both leagues. And in Charch's league, my team was bad anyway.
I think Mahomes is available in our Cody and Gold league.
That's correct.
So we'll see how outrageous the dollar amount is for him.
Well, I've been starting Matt Stafford in that league, so at least at some point I got to do it. The biggest problem, I think, for fantasy, and we'll take your questions at 913-586-7610. I think some of the biggest questions, obviously, have been about, like, running backs, because it doesn't feel like you can ever start anybody except for Christian McCaffrey. You can start Christian McCaffrey every week. Do you know how few people actually started Chan? I mean, he was on some deep team, 16 team. Like, I'm in a league with Pete Sweeney. It is a 16-team league. Pete had Chan. And even in that league, a 16-team league in which you have no other good running backs to start, he didn't start. There's 50 points just sitting on his bench. And then you're going to start him this week, and he's going to get like 3.5 points.
What's your fantasy? Someone on the text line start Dalvin Cook against the Chiefs or Kareem Hunt against the Ravens. Do you have any other options? Jerome Ford did a nice job for the Browns last week.
I mean, he had 10 carries for 18 yards.
No, but he had a touchdown. He ended up with, if you look at his
fantasy-wise, he did okay.
That's what we're talking about is fantasy football, right?
I know, but I would worry that like those carries to touchdown, you're counting on him getting in the end zone.
Sure.
I would say you cannot start Kareem Hunt until they prove they're going to use him.
What about Dalvin Cook? Their Jets aren't doing anything on offense, man. They can't get near the end zone. That's the problem with Dalvin Cook. Between the two.
Oh, my God. Yeah, do you have any other choices? You know what? Yeah, that's fair. Hunt. Just at the odds, they might give him the ball near the damn end zone, I guess. I can't tell you that there's one to make you feel any better than that.
Yeah, I feel like you have to take Kareem Hunt, but I don't know, because Jerome Ford played good enough, and I think that's something that we even talked about a little bit off air when Kareem Hunt, the rumors were there is how much run do you think Jerome Ford's going to have? He had the good game, but does that continue? He's the guy. I would say the Ravens front, at least right now, looks more vulnerable to more yards per carry, I guess, than the Chiefs front. But obviously, things can change on a week-to-week basis.
I would just be, this feels like the perfect time of fantasy season where you like buy low on somebody. Somebody's trying to like shed Josh Jacobs. Go get him, you know? Someone's thinking he's never going to turn around. I actually think they might be better with Aiden O'Connell. That's not just my Jimmy G slander. He hasn't looked comfortable all year in their offense. Aiden O'Connell looked like a very talented quarterback in the preseason. I'm kind of interested to see what they might do if Jimmy G misses some time, you know? We haven't asked one single actual fantasy question.
Yeah, this one from the 816. Someone says their fantasy is to have a McDonald's chicken nugget spread with honey mustard and barbecue sauce smothered on a hot lady.
I mean, we talked about food and sex not that long ago.
We did a couple weeks ago.
Honey mustard?
Oh, that's where you have the problem?
Honey mustard and buffalo sauce? I mean, is that...
How about just
aim higher for your
it's
food.
Very specific.
Well,
it's their fantasy for a reason. They've thought it out. 913-586-7610. What's your fantasy? I don't know if it's a fantasy, but certainly a goal. You guys see Tyreek Hill saying he wants to be a porn star when he retires?
Yeah.
He was on a podcast.
He said he was, quote, dead serious.
Yes. He was on a podcast with Bucs wide receiver Mike Evans. And Mike Evans said, quote, when you retire, you're going to be all over, TV, everything. Then Hill said, nah, when I retire, I really want to be a porn star. Dead serious. You think I got that? That was the answer.
Did you see Mike Evans' response? He said,
okay.
Whatever you want, bro.
Basically,
I just almost like borderline uncomfortable, like, cool, bro. Not the answer I was expecting, but nice.
The fact that he also wasn't asked if he was serious. He said right after dead serious, he is very much so serious about
Tyreek Hill, who knows what Tyreek Hill,
I would rank him in the top 3 most likely former NFL players to become porn stars right now. I mean,
that's a ranking that you have on your top of your mind, huh?
He's on the list.
I mean, Antonio Brown already
He made plenty of money. Antonio Brown might be number 1.
It would not stun me if Tyreek Hill decided to make that decision. No.
He makes a lot of bad decisions.
It would not stun. He also changed his mind quickly. He did an interview 3 months ago and said his goal after retiring is to launch this e-gaming league thing. So who knows?
He also said that he was going to retire at the end of this Miami Dolphins contract at one point. So who knows?
Text line.
What did the text line say? What I missed?
We're not going to read that one.
Let me see here.
Let's just put it this way. Remember our conversation we had about Robert Quinn a year or so ago in the locker room? Someone's going that path, but with Mike Evans. Let's leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. That is what's your fantasy.
Do they have this on good authority? Or
I don't know if it's the same person. If it is, if it's the same person, there might be some truth to it because that person, I believe, if it's the same person, actually spent time in the league.
Oh.
So there you go. Coming up next, we'll get to the Chiefs Red half hour and follow up on a question we just asked to Danan Hughes about this year's football team and looking back to 2022.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com. Tune in to hear Andy Reid every Monday at noon, exclusively on your official broadcast partner of the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
Not all water heaters are made equally. Some can be temperamental. Some can be unreliable and don't even think about what happens if you have neighbors downstairs.
Why is it raining inside my apartment?
Not with a Navien tankless water heater. You'll never run out of hot water. You only heat water when you need it, saving you tons in utility costs. Navien tankless water heaters. Visit tanklessmadesimple.com to learn more.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
Dispatch, this is Mindy at Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling.
You know, you don't have to put off fixing plumbing problems in your home anymore. I mean, you could just ignore that clogged drain or visit missionphc.com to take care of your plumbing problems. Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. License 202058.
Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using code BETKC and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and the best daily promotions in the business. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. Place your moneyline, prop, and parlay bets with the king of sportsbooks today. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly and offer resources to help you make appropriate choices. BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 plus to wager. Kansas only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets. Bonus bets expire in 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
MVP's bonus days are back at Lowe's. Shop Klein Tools and get 5 times the bonus points. Lowe's knows pros. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees, after applicable discounts, if any. Valid 9/18 through 9/29, subject to change. DeWalt offer valid through 10/11.
It's touchdown Kansas City when you sell your home to Rex at rexbuyskc.com. The champions when it comes to buying homes in Kansas City.
That's right, Mitch. We'll pay more for any home. No hassles or strings attached. We'll buy your home as is for quick, instant cash in only 7 days.
Every home seller scores more with Rex. Rex and his team buy homes for any reason. Bankruptcy, foreclosure, probate, damaged or vacant homes, as is, and you rush away with instant cash.
Homeowners, don't get sacked with a poor financial decision. Call me, Rex, now at 816-330-6000. Fair and honest prices, because we know bad things can happen to good people.
Tackled by big home improvement costs, roofs, plumbing, exteriors cost you thousands. Pocket that money and walk away debt and worry free.
Before you sign to sell, call me at 816-330-6000 or online at rexbuyskc.com.
Call the champions, Rex Buys Houses, at 816-330-6000 or online at rexbuyskc.com.
When it comes to beef, nothing tops world-class highly marbled Wagyu. Booth Creek's Wagyu Meat Market is now open in Overland Park, and it is time to elevate your beef. Their farm-to-fork commitment brings this intensely rich and flavorful beef from the tall grass prairies north of Manhattan, Kansas, directly to your table. Come into what our customers are calling the jewelry store of beef and taste the difference. Our in-store experts are sampling freshly seared Wagyu 7 days a week, located in the shops at Deer Creek Woods, 135th and Metcalf.
It's time for football. It's easy with Old Shawnee Pizza and their Wednesday special. Buy any medium one-topping pizza and get the second one-topping medium for half price. Go to ShawneePizza.com to order for pickup, delivery, or eat in. Old Shawnee Pizza, 3 locations.
JR and Company offers a lifetime workmanship warranty on every residential roof. Why? Because our roofers are that good. Kinda makes you wonder about the other guys. JR and Company, home of the free online storm check at jrstormcheck.com.
MVP's bonus days are back at Lowe's. Shop the largest selection of Klein tools and get 5 times the bonus points. Plus, right now, buy a DeWalt Power Stack battery kit and get a select DeWalt Bear tool free, up to a $249 value. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid 9/18 through 9/29. Subject to change. DeWalt offer valid through 10/11.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate. The best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Sunny and nice today with a high of 81. Weather brought to you by Barbasol Shaving Cream. Feeling great starts with a great shave, and great shaves start with Barbasol Shaving Cream. Close shave, America. Close shave Barbasol.
The 610 Sports Radio phone line is brought to you by Onder Law Injury Lawyers. Visit getjim.com.
Arvest Bank, proud supporter of your Kansas City Chiefs radio network. Arvest Bank, proud supporter of your Kansas City Chiefs radio network. Stop by any Arvest branch to find out why banking with Arvest and the Arvest Go mobile app makes life easier. Arvest Bank, proud to be here game day. Let's do this.
Chiefs Kingdom. This is Mitch Holtis, and welcome into the Chiefs Red Half Hour on Cody and Gold. Every day at 11:30 on your official broadcast partner, the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
Chiefs Red Half Hour brought to you by Mission Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. Reminder coming up in about 10 minutes or so. Expected to hear from Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and maybe another player or two. And certainly if it is Travis Kelce, we'll make sure we carry that live as well. But that is to be determined still at this point.
Have we gotten a picture of what the media room looks like? Feels like there might be a few extra bodies in
Wow.
attendance.
Yeah.
If they think that Travis Kelce would be speaking.
You heard during the New Heights podcast, I guess that there has been, as you would expect, and I'm assuming they flew in from L.A. or something, but like that Travis, there's like basically paparazzi around his house here in Kansas City now.
They're not going to just like permanently stay there, are they, while they're dating?
This is Taylor Swift we're talking about here.
God, what a boring job. You just like wait for one person all the time to take a photo or ask a question.
I mean, if you step back, though, we probably shouldn't be surprised. I mean, this is...
No, I know.
We see it with other... I mean, Taylor Swift is one of the most popular people on the planet, and so whoever she's dating is all of a sudden going to be under the microscope. It sucks, yes, I'm with you. But I'm not surprised by it, if that's actually happening around Kansas City.
No, I mean, I'm certainly, while she was suspected to be in town, I'm in no way shocked that would be the case. But, I mean, once
they either
she's
flew
back
in from
gone,
L.A. or they're freelancers, right? They're like, hey, all right, we need freelance photographers in Kansas City.
You would be a freelance paparazzi?
There you go, Cody. That's perfect.
I mean, did they supply the camera, or do I have to have my own
No,
equipment?
if you're a freelancer, you got to have your own equipment.
Well, I don't have nice enough camera
Well,
for
then
that.
you're out. They didn't hire you then.
And they really found his place really quick. He's like, I'm just waiting outside my house. I imagine he's got a certain level of privacy in his home, but probably going to want a little bit more after what took place there, that's for sure. We had asked Danan a question. So let's take it bigger than what I had asked you earlier, which is just, I think people are having a hard time wanting to say for sure 3 weeks in that, yeah, I know for sure whether or not it's better. By the end of this season, do you think you'll be saying that this team, regular season, do you think by the end of the regular season, we will all be saying that this is a better team than they had going into the postseason last year?
I think so because of the defense. Like I said, right now it's far too early to say they're already at that point. But you have to think the offense is going to get there and be pretty close. And then the key is whether or not you believe the defense can be there. Because offensively, I don't think they'll be better than a year ago. We went through, over and over, points per game. They were top in the league in yards, net yards per pass attempt, first downs per game, all of that. So I think you're asking a lot to think that they can be better offensively. But if the defense is, instead of 17th or 16th, 8th or 5th, well, and the offense instead of first is 4th, well, then yeah, they're a better football team. And yeah, it doesn't guarantee you anything in the postseason. It puts you in an unbelievable spot to go repeat. But it doesn't guarantee that. I mean, how many times in sports history, and I don't care whether it's football or basketball, we talk about some of the great...
Very rarely does the best team in the NFL win the Super Bowl.
We talk about all the time, like some of the all-time great teams that didn't win the Super Bowl or the title in their respective sport.
I would argue, I still think the Chiefs are the best team in the NFL the year they lost the Super Bowl to the Bucs. I think there's other years, like the year that the first year they won the Super Bowl, I don't think they were the best team in the league. They were just the hottest team at the right time, and they have Patrick Dan Mahomes, so they can overcome it. But when you look at this team right now, it is hard to imagine a scenario in which they are worse offensively than they were last year. The only notable missing player from the offense is Juju Smith-Schuster, and now we at least have 3 games of evidence that says their wide receivers are capable. They still have a really good offensive line. They still have Patrick Mahomes. They still have Andy Reid. And then defensively, the early signs are that they just took a huge leap forward from what was a league average or so points per game defense last season to all of a sudden looking like they have the potential to be top 5, top 10. I mean, it's easy to see a path forward to say, at the end of the regular season, this will be a better team going into the postseason. Maybe some other teams in the league will be better competition, but I'd be shocked at this point if I'm not feeling that way at the end of the regular season.
Yeah, it's because to me, though, it's because of the defense, not because the offense is better. I mean, you're saying Like you
No,
can't
but I
imagine
think
the
at worst,
offense.
the offense is about the same.
Yeah, but
I think it can be better because I still think that, like you and I've said, there's a chance for Rice or Moore or some of these other guys to get better. Tony.
Sure, but just as far as saying that I think 30 seconds ago you said you can't imagine the offense not being better than a year ago. And I'll just remind, I know you brought up that, hey, rankings maybe don't matter because the Dolphins could be better or whatever it may be. But it's not just that the Chiefs led categories, it's the numbers within them. But remember, as much as we talk about the 2018 offense, that 2018 offense never led the league in all 6 of the categories that I brought up. Points per game, yards per game, first downs per game, touchdown pass percentage, passer rating, net yards per pass attempt. So we can say that, hey, if the Dolphins are just really good, then the Chiefs could be very good, but just can't overcome what that is from an offensive perspective. I'm just telling you, we talk about 2018 being almost a historical benchmark offensively for the Chiefs, and even in that year, they didn't lead it. So I think we're downplaying how good the offense was a year ago. Yeah, maybe they get to that level, but thinking that they can be better than last year's offense, I think is a bit much. The reason why the team can be better is pretty clear. It's because right now this defense is a top 3 defense in football.
What's funny is they don't need. It's so weird because I'm not saying statistics don't matter. I know that they matter. But, you're just saying, hey, they didn't lead in all these. The 2018 offense was better than last year's offense. It just was. It just objectively was. Even if they didn't lead in all 6 of those categories, that was a better offense. They're scoring 35 points a game. That was one of the single best offenses in NFL history that year. For this year, they might not lead in nearly as many categories, or they might not match the statistical number of the things you just mentioned. But they also, because I know Andy Reid, might not try to, if that makes sense, because of the level of defense they play. What I care largely about, how I will feel about this offense versus just to say last year's, let's not compare it to all the years worth of offenses, is when they have to score, can they, and do they regularly put up 30 points? To this point, we have not seen the regularly puts up 30 points.
For one game.
We've seen it literally once and out of their 3 games, they didn't even get to the 20s against the Jags, and they just barely got to 20. Or did they get to 20 against the Jags? They finished 17? 17, was that their final? I've already forgotten. I've long since moved past that game. But they're not scoring 30 points a game. I understand it. I understand this notion to be like, hey, let's not get too far ahead on the offense yet just because they dropped 41 on the worst team in football. Yeah, 17 against the Jags, 20 against the Lions. I get it, but I'm just telling you, offensively, there's so many positive things to look at where I do think the points will come.
All right, we'll get a quick break, and when we come back, we'll hear from Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, maybe some others as well, right here on 610 Sports Radio.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com. Nate Taylor joins the guys in studio Tuesdays at 1 during the season, right here on 610 Sports Radio.
Whether it's a healthier weight or better poops, when people switch their dog's food from kibble to the farmer's dog, the effects can feel like nothing short of magic. But there are no magic ingredients, just real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need. Instead of dried pellets, it's simply smarter, healthier pet food delivered to your door in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Find out what it can do for your dog and get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
Pure at 350 Highway and Nolan Road has Kansas City's best VIP rooms, Kansas City's most beautiful women, and Kansas City's wildest post-game party. Till 3 a.m. Pure at 350 Highway and Nolan Road. The best VIP rooms, beautiful women, and now open Sunday, so you can celebrate a KC victory with the best post-game party in town. Till 3 a.m. Pure 350 Highway and Nolan Road.
Snap into action this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. All you got to do is place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel for this football season, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is super easy to use, and you got a wide spread of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. And I love the boost. Great bonus options from FanDuel. So visit FanDuel.com, use my promo code CDOT, and kick off this NFL season. FanDuel, an official partner of the NFL, and also 610 Sports Radio. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expires 7 days after retreat. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Football. Head into Hollywood Casino at Kansas Speedway to the only sportsbook counter in Kansas City. Place a minimum $100 wager at the sportsbook counter. Receive a $20 PIN Sports Play voucher. Earn up to $3 a week for $60 in Sports Play vouchers. Now until September 28th. Don't miss any of the action this season at Hollywood Casino at Kansas Speedway. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Wouldn't you like to save a couple minutes and not have to rush every single morning putting in your contacts? Doesn't have to be that way anymore. All you got to do is find out if you're a candidate for LASIK, vision correction procedure, like I was over at Dury Vision. 913-491-3330 or online at duryvision.com. You could just wake up and start your workday refreshed, clear-sighted because of LASIK. It has been incredible to just wake up and see every single day now. I don't need contacts. I don't need glasses. It has been the best decision I've ever made. And I trusted the folks over at Dury Vision because they've been doing it since vision correction procedures were around. In fact, their staff has performed over 65,000 vision correction procedures. They're simply the best in Kansas City. I trusted them with my eyes. You should as well. You just got to schedule that free consultation. You can do that online at duryvision.com or give them a call at 913-491-3330 and even conduct that consultation over Zoom if you need to as well. Just call them up, go online, and tell them Gold from 610 sent you.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-873-7171. 800-873-7171. 800-873-7171.
You're always better with a roof from JR. Well, on the first day of fall, the only thing that was falling was hail, and a lot of it. Don't wait for some hungry storm-chasing roofer from out of town to tell you your roof's a mess. There's an easier and safer way to know for sure. Online from locally owned JR & Company. Just visit jrhailcheck.com. Plug in your address and we'll pull a hail report. If there's nothing there, you have hassle-free peace of mind. And if it looks like you got hit, we'll come out and do a free inspection and help with any insurance claim. Veteran-owned JR & Company will never try to sell you a roof you don't need. But if you do need a new roof, remember, a roof from JR comes with a lifetime workmanship warranty. Just visit jrhailcheck.com. You're always better with a roof from JR. Visit jrhailcheck.com.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
Fall is just around the corner, and home is the center of it all. At Ashley, seasonal decorating's a breeze with their range of designs and materials. Snuggle up on a family-friendly sectional or an ultra-modern sofa. Or gather outside and enjoy the crisp, cool air with a new fire pit or conversation set. From minor refreshes to total overhauls, Ashley has the essentials to make your home fall functional and fabulous. Shop in-store or visit ashley.com today.
You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Max Motors Studios.
Hey, it's Creed Humphrey, and you're listening to the official broadcast partner of the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
KCSP Kansas City, WDAF HD2 Liberty, always live on the free Odyssey app.
All right, we're still inside the Chiefs Red half hour. Expected to head out to Arrowhead and hear from Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes in just a couple minutes, waiting their arrival at the podium. There were a couple roster moves too, Cody, for the Chiefs. Unfortunately, Prince Tangwanogo on the IR. So he, I think,
he had a quad injury.
I think he hurt it on the interception.
I think
he was trying to track down the member of the Bears and hurt it, which kind of stinks. So a little thinner on the offensive line. And then Montreal Washington, who we all thought a pretty nice job, looked confident catching the football as a return man. He officially has been added to the 53-man roster. So he was a practice squad call-up, I think is how it was on Saturday and the Sunday. Now he's actually on the 53.
I mean, until Richie James is back, and we don't have any sense of what that timeline will look like. Until Richie James is back, the short answer is that's just gonna be the case. Honestly, didn't he look more comfortable than just about
he looked very confident.
Any other? That's the most confident I've seen a kick returner look in years for the Chiefs. I'm going to be honest. More confident than I thought Richie James ever looked. More confident and skilled than I thought Sky looked. Justin Watson looked. He just looked like a guy who had a plan. He was a full-time punt returner last year. Seems like he stepped into that role nicely. I wouldn't worry about it. All right, so Vinny has sent me photos of his seats from the Jets game. If you missed it earlier, we have our Chiefs-Jets watch party coming up at Hollywood Casino on Sunday. That means Vinny is not going to the game in New York. We're trying to raise money for Wayside Waifs on Sunday anyway, with some jerseys and balls and all this stuff he's going to bring available for silent auction while we're out there. But he has offered that if somebody is willing to make what he called a good donation to Wayside Waifs, and you're already going to New York, or you feel like turning around a short trip, you could sit in Vinny's seats for this game just by donating to Wayside Waifs. I feel like it's too much to just post the seats on there and then open up all these people on Twitter. I want to leave it to the listeners of this show. So I'll make something simple. If you are interested in making that, or you have a question about what size donation would get the job done, DM me on Twitter at CodyBTap. If you want to see where the seats are, I will show them to you. And we can talk about how you could go about making a donation to Wayside Waifs if you are interested in sitting in Vinnie Pasquantino's seats.
Yeah, I mean, I would also say just text it to the show, 913-586.
Well, I can't really text the photos back. If you're interested, you can definitely just text the show, 913-586-7610. But if you want photos, I can send them to you.
All right, more of that in a little bit. Let's go out to Arrowhead and hear from Chiefs head coach Andy Reid.
As far as injuries go, Noah's not injured, but he's sick. And then Bolton is still recovering from the ankle sprain. So other than that, everybody else will practice. We elevated a couple guys, Matt Dickerson and Montreal Washington, put Prince down because of a quad tear there. And then we have a couple of practice squad receivers that we signed on. So we look forward to the challenge, playing the Jets, good football team. We know that. One of the best defenses in the National Football League, and an offense that's growing. So we got to stay on top of our game. Special teams, I think, is ranked number one in a lot of categories right now this season. So we'll start the practices today and make sure we detail our work going forward. They're also well coached. I mean, Robert does a real nice job with the team, and Nathaniel, we know, is a brilliant guy offensively, and Jeff Albrecht is a very good defense coordinator. So they're fully loaded on the coaching staff, and they've got good players. So we just can make sure we put the work in this week. With that time, George.
Wendy, who was, I couldn't understand the first guy you mentioned, the guy who's sick today?
Noah.
No, great. Okay, all right.
There's only one Noah. Well, I guess there's two.
It goes 53 to find him.
Yeah.
Montreal Washington, you talked about bringing him up. Any chance you can get him involved as a receiver yet, or is right now, is he just a kick guy?
Yeah, we're working him in there. He takes some practice reps, so we'll just see how that goes. I mean, he's new to that, so his main focus was returner, but he can do both.
You expecting Richie James back at some point this year?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Andy, with the Jets' defensive line, with Quinn and Williams, just the challenge of facing them and just how they've been so good so far this year, at least one unit on that team's been good.
Yeah, well, he's a fantastic player. All pro. He's young and explosive and kind of wreaks havoc inside. Now, he's not the only one. So they've got really 2 full lines, 8 guys. And you probably could add a couple of rushers outside, so 10 guys that bring it. And they're going to throw fastballs at you. So it'll be a good challenge for our offensive line.
Andy, going back to the injuries, did you say Prince had a tear in his quad?
Yeah, quad tear. Yeah.
Is there a plan for who's going to back up Juwan now?
Yeah, we're working on that right now. But we're going to have, we'll get all that. Yeah, we're working through it.
Quad tear is pretty serious. Is that out for the year? Is that an easy assumption for that one, or what would you say?
We'll see. You guys are asking me these things. I'm having me predict the future on these. I don't know that. So we'll just see how it goes. Yeah.
When it comes to the O-line, we focused a lot on Juwan, but just as a whole, it's a little different with the tackles this year. How have you felt like it's been through these games so far?
Yeah, he's done good, with the exception of the penalty part of it. So.
I mean, more so the line as a whole with the new tackles, just through 3 games. What do you think?
Yeah, well, when you're getting a lot of yards in a game, normally your line's doing okay, and the tackles are part of that. So, can we get better along there? Absolutely. But that's all of us in there. So, we got to. But there have been a lot of yards and a lot of throws and so on. So, but we've had games where we've shot ourselves in the foot and haven't scored, and that's kind of the most important thing.
Andy, you mentioned the Jets defensive line, their defensive backs, Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, they play with a lot of confidence. What are you saying from them?
Yeah, they're very good. They're aggressive. They play quite a bit of man coverage. So, and both the corners play well in man, and their safeties likewise. They got good nickels, dime. They'll play some dime in there too, and they're all pretty good. Now, Sauce is, he's a special guy, but they're all very good coverage guys.
Andy, was Kadarius completely healthy on Sunday? Is that just your decision for his small snap count?
Yeah, I just didn't want to push the toe on the thing. I mean, we started him off, and then I backed off him. That thing had swollen up, and we got the swelling down. I kind of wanted to end the game with it that way, So.
Andy, with either both you and Patrick, as his salary goes up, he's more and more a part of what you do, and I know he's grown as a player. Do you have to coach a little bit different to protect him? Do you do more, knowing how much you would lose with him, and do you coach him differently to maybe get the ball out even a little bit sooner? Don't take any risks. Is there an evolution there with both you and him?
Yeah, so I think, as time's gone on, he's done that. He's getting it out a little bit faster, more on time. Then the more, with the new receivers, the more he gets used to those guys, then it'll increase more as we go through this season. So, and we do enough movement stuff where we move the pocket. I think that's important. That's all part of this offense. It's not a secret. So, all that stuff's important too.
Coach, it was revealed on films that on Kelce's touchdown, he was supposed to run a corner and instead went inside. Just, I guess, what's your reaction to that, and how many years does it take to say, okay, you're cool to break off your route?
Yeah, well, as long as he and Pat are on the same page, when you're walled, then we give him some flexibility there. So, yeah, he's had a few of those.
Andy, obviously, defense is a work in progress. You want it to get better and better, but I do wonder if you feel in any way pleasantly surprised by what it's done early, and what do you think's enabled that?
I'm not surprised. I just from what I saw in camp, I mentioned how the zones were tighter and the guys in man coverage were also tighter and doing a nice job. I thought the young guys have, they're growing. They're in the process of growing. The thing you've got to do is you have to do it every week and keep working to get better. These guys have some good receivers, so you're gonna have a nice challenge there. But it's again, they'll tell you that they can get better. but they're working their tail off, and I think that's been a big part of it. Spags does a phenomenal job teaching, along with you're talking about the DBs, David and Donald, and then putting them in good positions. But these guys, they're making plays all over. You saw what Tony McDuffie did. I mean, he was in a couple different spots and moving around and did a nice job with it.
One or two things that you think are the reason that it's taken so far the way it has?
So they've worked at it, the fundamentals, techniques, and the different guys seeing it. They've been able to see it. And then your D-line, there's some young guys there that have gotten some experience and are playing better. So just with the experience. So that always makes the back end, it helps them.
Coach, the Jets obviously had kind of the rug pulled out from under early in the first game with Aaron going down. I know you're not in their meetings or anything, but on film, are you seeing like the kind of spirit you'd expect to see, attitude from their team? They don't look like they've packed it in or anything, right?
No, they won the game,
Yeah.
So we'll be ready, for the best. I mean, that's what we anticipate getting there. And they're at home, and they've got talent, so we've just we have to make sure we buckle down and, work like crazy this week. Take care of what we can take care of.
A couple more guys. Play callers. A handful of guys as receivers have had big years for you as a rookie in your offense, like Deshaun and Jeremy, Reggie Brown, Tyreek. Is there something about Rashid's makeup that tells you that he can kind of be in that category too?
Yeah, I mean, he's growing again in front of us here. He's one of the young guys that, but it looks like he's getting more on the same page with Pat. Pat spends a lot of time with him, and and he wants to, he's got the right attitude. He wants to be good. And so it's consistency. So he'd had a nice game. He's coming off a nice game now, now present it again and take another step this week. That's the attitude you've got to have, and he seems to have that.
Last three will go Aaron, Sam, and then sorry.
From a play caller's perspective, obviously their quarterback's still trying to gain some confidence. How do you instill that? How do you give confidence to a quarterback that's kind of a shaky ground, if you will?
Yeah, listen, Nathaniel, he's been doing it a long time, so he played the position and so on. So I'm sure he has his own way of doing it. And we'll get him there. He's a BYU guy. Come on.
And Andy, what do you make of just what Jared McKinnon's been able to do at his age? Obviously, injury issues he's gone through.
Yeah, no, amazing guy, great attitude, and works like crazy. So even in meetings, he's doing some stretching or doing something there to make sure he's good to go. He's survived 10 years of running back in this league. That's a long time, dog years. Yeah.
Last one, sir. Coach, I know you want to win every game, right? So you'd like to be 3-0 and not 2-1 here. But last week the Cowboys were getting all the hype. This week the Dolphins are getting all the hype. Do you kind of like? You've had plenty of weeks where you're the team getting all the hype. Do you like kind of maybe not being the team that's up front, maybe not being the one that all the talks about?
Yeah, I don't listen to all that noise that goes on. So I mean, this is most of the media I get is right here. So I don't read stuff. I don't look at the TV stuff or listen to it. I don't do all that. So
team, though? Did they not
yeah. But if you're asking me, so I don't know that. I don't really get caught up in it. I don't talk about that. It takes so much time to get ready for a team, and in the NFL, and so you don't have time for all that other stuff. I mean, I know it's used out there and that, but if you do this thing right, you're just every minute you get, you exhaust on the opponent, and you see coaches working along there. You see these players carrying these iPads all over the place. When they're in the training room, they're looking at them. They go home, they look at them, and if you're going to be good, that's what you've got to do. That you have to dedicate that. So then you don't have time for the other stuff.
All right, thanks.
All right, so that was Andy Reid. Quite a bit there, actually, a little bit longer than we normally hear on a Wednesday from Andy. Still expecting Patrick Mahomes to speak in just a minute or so. Injury front, we mentioned it right before with Prince being out on IR with a quad tear. Montreal, Washington elevated in. Nick Bolton, not going to practice today, still out with an ankle sprain. Maybe there's a chance he misses 2 straight games.
Seems at least plausible. You are listening to 610 Sports Radio in Kansas City, KCSP Kansas City, WDAF HD2 Liberty in Odyssey Station. Yeah, I would worry a little bit about it. Once he's not practiced on Wednesday and missed the previous game, you don't rule it out. And I got to be honest, they want Nick Bolton back for the long haul. Not saying that. It's the Jets. The same way we just said it's the Bears, it's the Jets. They have no offense to speak of. They don't even have a mobile quarterback that you would feel that need, like with Justin Fields, where maybe you'd want kind of a good tackling guy. They'll figure out a way to figure this out.
All right, let's go back out there and hear from Patrick Mahomes.
Coach said that you work a lot with Rasheed off to the side and everything. You talk to him just about coming along. What are some of the things that you guys are working on as far as getting on the same page?
Yeah, I think you see in this offense, there's so much freedom to kind of throttle and set down versus come out of breaks. And I think just that little stuff like that. You saw he did a good job of that this last week in those zone coverages, catching the ball, getting vertical and stuff like that. I thought on the 3rd down one, he maybe could have hit it in a little bit faster, but that's the stuff that we're working on. And you see Travis do it so well, and you've seen guys in the past do it so well. You just have to keep working on that stuff because they have to be seeing the same thing you're seeing out there on the field.
He went off his route. Just what tells you like a wait in the moment. Wait a second here.
People ask me that, like Blaine asked me that, and I don't know why. I just kind of understand when he's going to do some stuff that he's not really supposed to do. There is times in practice where we were thinking about making a call for that for when we get that look for him to get him to run that route. And I remember with the coaches, I just said, I don't know why we need a call. He's going to do it anyways. And so, of course, he does it, and it's a touchdown. He has a good understanding of the whole entire concept. He understands the coverages. And it takes a lot of reps. And I've just kind of developed that trust that whenever I'm seeing it one way, he's going to do it that way.
When do you think you got there with him? How long ago was it?
I think it was in that first Super Bowl run. There was a couple times throughout the game where I threw some balls that he adjusted his route, and I threw it kind of before he even did it, just kind of knowing him. And I think it just took a couple of years of just working with him and continuing to do stuff. And we got a feel. Not only did I get a feel for how he runs routes, but you got a feel for how I was seeing stuff. And so just that combination of stuff, I think, developed that connection where we can kind of go off the radar screen and kind of develop some stuff that's not necessarily called.
Patrick, obviously you don't study your defense like you study opponents' defenses, but I do wonder what you think has enabled its success so far. And you made a point after Jacksonville to say they won the game. What is it? Does anything surprise you, or you particularly taken note of?
Yeah, I would hate playing our defense, and obviously the players. They're deep at every single position right now. But the scheme and how they execute it, that's why I always say after training camp, I'm like, all right, now we can get back to regular season where I can focus on just the couple coverages that I'm going to see or the little change up here and there. Versus our defense, it's like every single play, you never know what to expect. And I think that's hard for offenses to go against. And then having a defense that, a lot of these guys have came back for the second year now or multiple years, and they have an understanding of what Spags and why he's calling stuff and what he wants. I think that's what makes it so special, and I think they're going to continue to grow and continue to get better with more and more reps.
Are those the reasons you think it's sort of taken an earlier jump than his defenses often have in the past? That it's a little bit of continuity.
Yeah, you said it. Just those guys coming back another year in the defense, adding even more talent to it. A lot of young guys that played last year, and you could tell they were kind of probably playing a little faster than their mind was kind of comprehending. And then now you can feel they're very comfortable. They can just be themselves, let their talent show. That's what makes Spags' defense so good is he gives them freedom to adjust on the fly, and they're doing a great job of doing that at a high level.
Patrick, what are you seeing from the Jets defense? When you look at them, first of all, is there an after effect of not having Aaron there? And then second of all, what are you seeing from a talented group like this that you're preparing for?
Yeah, they're really good. They're really good. They're deep in the D line, but they're deep everywhere. Really, they have DBs, they have linebackers. We have a lot of respect for them, and we know that I'm about to try to prevent myself from negative plays. Just take those easy, positive plays, and if you get the opportunity to take a shot, take it. But if it's not there, you got to continue to just drive and grind out points in this game, and that's a really good defense. It'll be a great challenge for us.
Patrick, specifically those DBs, Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, what are you seeing from them? I know they play pretty aggressive.
Yeah, I think Reed got me in college for like a pick six. So I know he's good at reading and recognizing routes. And then Sauce obviously had a great year this last year and is going to continue to get even better and better. And so I mean they have a good group. I mean the safeties are good. They had to rotate another safety in this last week. He played good ball. And they know that their D line's good, so they know when they can kind of jump and make plays happen. And so it's a good unit. You can tell they've been together for a year or two now, and they understand what their concept, their defense is, and where they can be kind of a little bit weaker, and they know how to like execute at that level. So it's going to be a great challenge for us, especially our young guys, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, talking about not wanting to play against, y'all's defense, some offensive linemen said, I wouldn't want to play against our run concepts, and the run was much effective against Chicago. Just how much does the run aid you in your progression in offense?
Yeah, I mean, I think we knew in the building especially that we needed to get the run game going. Everybody talks about the offense and how much we've thrown over the past, but you always see when we're at our best is when we're running the football. And so we're going to try to continue to do that. Obviously, it'll be a great challenge against this defensive line and linebacking group. But we'll try to continue to establish the run. And once you establish the run, it opens up everything. And so we got a good running back room and a good offensive line, so we want to try to make sure that we keep that progressing in the right direction.
We'll go across the room, starting with Saran. Go ahead.
Patrick, I know the Eagles have been very successful with their tush push, or whatever you want to call it, that play. I know why you guys don't do it, but I just wonder what's your reaction when you see it. They're not only really effective, but it seems to really jack their team up and be kind of like part of their personality. I mean, they're the only one that does it. 31 other teams. Like, what's your reaction? What do you guys talk about when you see them have that kind of success, and what goes into that play?
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously it's an advantage for them. I mean, but you see other teams in the league try to do it, and they can't do it as well as they do. It speaks to their offensive line. It speaks to their quarterback. They know how to do it at a really high level, and they've practiced it and worked on it. I think as you've seen now, I mean, the other teams have tried to kind of manipulate and do that different type of stuff, and it might get the first down, but it's not as pretty and as powerful as when the Eagles do it. So. I mean, all to them, man. They've kind of mastered something that I think other teams are going to try to do as best they can.
Sam?
When you mentioned that Reed got you in college, is that just something that you remember from that long ago? Have you been reminded about it at all since?
I mean, it's just I don't throw a lot of pick sixes, and he had a pick six, so you remember it. I mean, he's a great player, so I know. But that's stuff that you realize because I mean that's route recognition. That's jumping the ball, making a play. And so that's stuff that you really have to be aware of whenever you're going out there and playing quarterback.
Do you remember the specific play and everything?
Yeah, I do. I do. I think he was supposed to get blocked by a receiver. He jumped it before the receiver could get there and went to the house.
We'll go Aaron and then Todd. Go ahead, Aaron.
I know you're going to be a little busy with the Renaissance tour with Beyonce coming in. Have you followed it? Have you seen any clips? Maybe the Mute Challenge. Have you heard of that?
I have not seen that. I've seen some videos of the tour. It looks amazing. The stage is like as big as the field. Brittany was upset the date got changed because she's going to come to the game, so she's not going to be able to go to the concert. But it's going to be amazing for Kansas City to be able to have that big of an event. And Arrowhead's going to do it right because it's going to be an amazing atmosphere.
Todd?
We'll stay on the non-football part. We talked to you after the game. I know this Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce stuff's gone wild. You said you hadn't gotten to meet her yet. Did you get her to this after party? Did you meet Taylor Swift? What do you think of the whole thing?
Yeah, I met her. She's really cool. Good people. But like Travis said, man, I'm gonna let them have their privacy and just keep it moving.
Okay, thanks, Patrick.
So that was Patrick Mahomes at Arrowhead, and yeah, I think it's pretty clear how his teammates and if Travis are going to handle any details on the Taylor Swift stuff going forward, right? Based off the New Heights podcast, which we'll play a clip again from that, and then especially if you're a teammate of his, you're definitely not spilling any beans on anything. Absolutely
not.
not.
Why would you do that to your guy?
Don't screw this up. Don't screw this up for Travis.
Before we talk about the Kelce stuff, because obviously Jason and Travis have responded to what took place on Sunday and the fact that there was this massive outpour, including something that I think we should talk about this time around, which is it might have just gotten a lot harder for you to go to Chiefs games from a financial perspective.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that in just a minute. Patrick has it right. He openly is like, I wouldn't want to go against our defense right now. They are making things a problem for teams. I was really trying to diagnose. I'm like, okay, what is it? What is that thing? What is the thing that they are known for? Like, I know when I watch the Eagles, man, what makes them an elite level defense, Gold. They have like 7 defensive linemen who apparently would start for any other team in the NFL. Got it. I understand. I've decided that part of the reason that it is hard to conceptualize that the Chiefs defense could be as good as some of these other elite defenses we are used to and really be this good, the level of good we have seen in the first 3 games that it's going to sustain, is because it is coming with balance. Balance is always harder to conceptualize. They aren't great in any particular. They aren't like, wow, look at them, an unstoppable force. They have, this, but they are really good on the defensive line, really good at linebacker, really good at the secondary. And when you strike balance across all 3 levels, you become a very difficult team to play against offensively.
Yeah, I think that's a huge part of it. I think is there a complete defense right now? They're a complete defense. I think the other part that makes them challenging, if you're just a coach and you're game planning against this Chiefs defense right now, they rotate in so many different guys on the defensive line, right? I mean, it's not, we highlight Chris Jones, of course, and George Karlaftis, but Derek Notty's a problem for teams. Turk Warden, Mike Dana is a problem for teams. Felix, the limited snaps he's getting, has shown himself pretty well. And eventually, Charles Hughes, part of this mix. I think if you're trying to game plan against them, the Chiefs use so many different packages on the defensive line. You spend so much time on that it makes it more challenging to prep for the linebackers, for the corners, and what you're going to see. So I think that's part of it. Yeah, there's no doubt they're complete. But I also think it's by design and intention that Chiefs have so many fresh bodies rotating in on the defensive line.
I also think it's important that they do still have a dominant player. Like we talked about Trent McDuffie, they might have 2 dominant players, but Chris Jones is a force. Having a force on the defensive line, somebody who has to be game planned for, double team, triple teamed, whatever the hell you're going to do against him, all that defensive rotation becomes a whole lot easier, Gold, when you know you're coming in and your job is to get past one person. Singular, every single time. You have to get past one man. Look, if Karlaftis ever develops into a 10-12 sack guy during this season, let's say he starts producing at that rate. And by the way, over his last 12 games, that is the pace in which he is going. When you take the back half of last season and the first 3 of this year, he is producing at a 10 to 12 sack pace. If he is that, then they're even more difficult. The only area in which I think they are definitively the best unit in the NFL is, I would still argue, linebacker. I think it's hard because in the NFL,
I think they're just deeper.
Yeah, but it's also hard in the NFL because when you compare linebacker units, some people run a 3-4, so their linebacker units include Micah Parsons, versus the Chiefs run a 4-3, so all their linebackers do traditional linebacker stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to go apples to apples for linebacker, but for what they do, I don't think anyone's better.
913-586-7610. Someone says, hey, is the defense good or are the teams they playing bad? Well, the Bears were bad, but week 1 they played a Lions team that a year ago was a top offense.
They were the third scoring offense in the NFL.
And everybody thinks they could win the division. And then the Jags offensively are
9th in the league last year.
Towards the top of the league, even though they just got upset by the Colts.
But laying eggs happens.
Not the Colts, the Texans.
I'm not going to just bury a team because they had one off game. We certainly know that happens, and the Chiefs have had those, and the Texans are playing a little bit tougher. I'd worry more about their defense than I would that. They have not scored in 2 games. They dropped 30 on the Colts, and then since then they have not scored. So you just got to figure out whether or not that is going to line up. Meanwhile, you heard Travis there at the end, or you heard Patrick there at the end. He wants to respect their privacy. I understand that. There was a article out last night that suggested the get-in price for Chiefs games right now might currently be going up on the secondary market somewhere between 2 and 3 times. You do realize that if it ever leaks that Taylor is coming to the game this weekend from a reputable source multiple days ahead of the game, going to Arrowhead this season just got more expensive to the average consumer and to the average fan. Should we feel bad in any way? This is the weirdest inflation hike of all time for the Chiefs. We all get the, pay the good team tax, right? It's already more expensive to go to Chiefs games than it used to be. Just like when you were trying to go to the Royals game in 2015, it was more expensive. But I never thought Taylor Swift was going to jack up my ticket price.
Yeah, that
was somehow all of a sudden, I got to pay more to get to Arrowhead because Taylor might be there?
Yeah, that was one nobody planned for. Yeah, you expect when your team's winning games that the prices go up, but the Taylor Swift tax, if you will, yeah, get used to that. Anything that she is involved with.
The jacket that she wore
at
the game, it sold out.
Yep. Again, there's only two people I would argue on earth that can just mention a product, be around a product, wear it, whatever, that will automatically cause it to sell out. And there's two people. You can probably guess who they are. One is Taylor Swift. The other is Oprah. That's about it. You guys remember back when, like on Oprah, when she was on a regular basis on TV, any book she talked about, any product she talked about, sold out just like that. It's the same thing with Taylor Swift. Same thing. So if tomorrow, if she wore a different Chiefs hoodie and somehow we got a photo of it, that hoodie would sell out in 2 seconds.
Yes.
Just what? That's where we're at.
I mean, how could it not be that? I mean, I would just assume that that's the way it would go. Like, people seem surprised at some of this stuff. Like, there was a tweet out, like, Travis, like from a pop culture account that has paparazzis, like Travis is seen in Kansas City, and it's high res, taken with a telephoto lens from the same account that's sending out stuff of like Jenner's or Jennifer Lawrence or whoever.
Paparazzi or NKC because
I don't know how to break this to you. This is going to happen until they're not dating, probably.
Yep.
There will be somebody taking those things. It is kind of wild that. But it's kind of wild, though, on its concept, right? That it got more expensive gold for you to go to the game. Think about, like, and especially certain levels, like club level, suite level tickets, the things that are already kind of expensive. If there's buzz, let's say they're going to the Jets this week. Are they on the road next week against the Vikings?
Minnesota, yeah.
Minnesota Vikings. Okay, so a couple weeks from now, when they're back at home, and on the Thursday before the Sunday, you start hearing the rumbling. Adam Schefter's like, "Hey, Taylor Swift will be back."
Yeah, they're going to go up.
Chiefs game. Skyrocket, man.
But that's why I don't know if
it's kind of a wild thing.
So that's why over time I wonder if the ticket price part would level out. Now the products and things like that aren't going to change.
No, anything she wears to the game is going to sell out.
The ticket price, I wonder at some point if it changes, because right now, people are just guessing, hoping she's at the next. The section below Travis Kelce's suite, that's a more popular section now on the secondary market because people want to be like, oh, I can just look right behind me and then she's going to be in the suite. Look, she's not going to go to every single home game the rest of the season. So you're really rolling the dice here.
Yeah, but because people are going to be guessing, it's going to go up. You said yourself that there was one rumor that Travis and Taylor were showing up to Free State Brewing in Lawrence.
And people were lined up.
And down the hall. So the ticket prices aren't going to go down.
It was not true, by the way.
But people are going to pay the exorbitant price just because of the chance that she might be sitting in that section below where Travis gets. I mean, that's going to be a tough ticket. Or if you had season tickets there, it'd be hard not to sell them. People are going to pay you 4 times face value in order to go there. It'd be difficult to see that.
Those tickets right now, SeatGeek has them against the Broncos from $200 right now.
There you go, not bad. And you find out Taylor Swift's going to be there, what do you think it's worth?
I'll say lower level seats for a Chiefs game actually for $200 is
That's pretty good.
It's actually not crazy. That's actually not that bad.
I don't know if they were lower level. I just
okay.
I didn't actually.
That's the get-in price. There's no way that's
from
lower
200
level.
is where if it was from 200, so it starts at 200.
Okay, that's upstairs. Yeah,
Bengals tickets games start at 166. So it's interesting that
a divisional game.
I mean,
holiday. Some people can't. Some people
it's
don't want
New
to
Year's,
go.
right?
Some people don't want to go on New Year's.
the cheapest ticket right now per SeatGeek is the Raiders game, $89 starting price.
Here, by the way, Travis, obviously on the other side of this, New Heights had out their new podcast today. They put out an episode talking about it. This is what Travis Kelce had to say about Taylor being in the game. Obviously, Jason asking the question.
We got to talk about it.
Yeah, my personal life, that's not so personal.
Yeah, well.
I did this to myself, Jason. I know this.
Well, Trav, how's it feel that Taylor Swift has finally put you on the map?
I just thought it was awesome how everybody in the suite had nothing but great things to say about her. You know, the friends and family. She looked amazing. Everybody was talking about her in great light. And on top of that, the day went perfect for Chiefs fans, of course. We script it all, ladies and gentlemen. But to see the slow motion chest bumps, to see the high fives with mom, to see how, Chiefs Kingdom was all excited that she was there, that was absolutely hysterical. It was definitely a game I'll remember. That's for damn sure. And then we just slid off in the getaway car at the end.
I mean, everybody's talking about it.
Everyone, literally. Everyone, even Bill Belichick. He hasn't talked much about me outside of, game weeks that we've played, but he made sure to remind me that that's the best catch I've ever had in my life.
Dude, that was a great line by Bill.
Hilarious. And then you got Coach Reed telling everybody he's Cupid. He's been manifesting this the whole time. He's the one that set us up.
Is there any truth to this?
I don't even know how to answer that. I know that he had met the Swift family before, so I don't know. He could have been in the background the whole time.
Dude, Coach Reed playing matchmaker?
Who knew Cupid was so big? Shout out to Taylor for coming through and see me rock the stage.
So that was Kelce on New Heights today on what is going to be an absurdly downloaded number podcast throughout the next week and really for the rest of the football season. Their numbers just skyrocketed. I think overall, hearing from Kelce on the podcast, because there's more to it, we're not going to play all of it, but like it sounds like truly like he's going to, and I think he has to, right? He's going to disrespect Taylor the rest of the way. I don't think we're going to really get much information out. I mean, not much leaked out of the thing on Sunday night. Nothing really leaked out of the thing Sunday night.
No, just the fact that they were there. That was all that we found out.
I know people push back. I still think it wouldn't have surprised me at all if NDAs were signed at that party on Sunday night.
I would rule it out.
Nothing has come out from that.
But I
thing.
also just think if you're a good teammate, you do the
Sure.
good teammate thing, and
But
you
Cody-
know
but
that
Cody, how did
it's Taylor Swift and
I
your
understand.
teammate. Just be cool, man.
You're
Be
right.
cool.
That's how it should go. That's exactly how it should go. But how many times do we see, we're just talking celebrities, let's take athlete out of it, just your movie star, whatever, when stuff leaks out from parties, you think they weren't all friends too? Like someone opens their mouth. Some people can't help it. So I'm actually impressed. That's why I wonder if there was an NDA signed or whatever. The fact that Kelce called it his getaway cars, fantastic. Good for him. Good for
you
him.
got to break out the Chevelle, the
Good for him.
convertible Chevelle, if you're gonna, take Taylor Swift out on the town. I don't know. It's just been such a funny story. Even Jason Kelce got asked this morning on WIP whether or not he'd gotten to first base.
I would hope, but I have no idea what. I have gotten no inclination from Travis as to what his batting percentage has been or anything like that. Yeah.
That was Jason Kelce on our sister station WIP in Philly. That's funny.
Honestly, that's how any brother would explain it. Like your sister would be like, "Hey, like if you were dating someone and I didn't know
Way
your
different.
sister."
The brother versus the sister and brother thing is not the same.
You don't think so?
It's more likely that a brother would share with their brother more. That you think a brother's talking to a sister about?
No, but I mean,
I don't know about that.
But I think you'd probably get a similar reaction.
Talking about the relationship, but not when we're talking about the question that was asked and obviously sexual stuff. I don't think you're talking to your sister about that. Whereas if it's your brother, you're probably more likely to.
It depends on your sibling.
I guess
You only have sisters, so
that's what I'm saying.
I don't feel like it matters.
I think it'd be much weirder if I was giving details like that to my sisters. That would be weird.
What, about kissing?
No, further sex,
I know.
not just. Again,
I understand.
obviously, the question wasn't just about that, even though that's what the question was.
He
Come
said
on
if
now.
he gotten past first,
Yeah,
if he'd at least
come on
gotten
now.
past first base.
Come on now.
Oh my God, this story is never gonna die. Which I guess for our purposes is entertaining. I'm just curious to see. I'm going to be monitoring the ticket prices the rest of the way. I'm beyond fascinated.
All right, coming up next, so we will talk a little bit of baseball, the final week of the season for the Royals. Josh Vernier, our Royals insider, joins us. We got a big day ahead on Saturday night when it comes to Jordan Lyles.
Cody and Gold.
Last and probably most important question. Are, in fact, all opinions like buttholes?
Brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com.
Inside the Huddle is brought to you by Blue KC. Live healthy with Blue KC.
Hey, Chiefs Kingdom, it's Bob Fesco. This NFL season, Crown Royal is giving back to the generous hosts that make game day royal. To the fans that open their doors and celebrate Kansas City game day, cheering on our tight end with a plate full of burnt ends. So raise a glass for the hosts of every watch party and kick off with Crown, because Crown Royal believes if you live generously, life will treat you royally. Visit crownroyal.com to find out how Crown is living generously all season long. Please drink responsibly.
Your attention is precious. Pulled in a million directions for a million different reasons. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City works hard to make sure your health insurance isn't one of the many things distracting you from what's important. By making healthcare easier to navigate, we help keep your focus on the moments that matter most. Like dinner with loved ones. Letting you focus on you. That's the benefit of Blue. Learn more at BlueKC.com.
It's touchdown Kansas City when you sell your home to Rex at rexbuyskc.com. The champions when it comes to buying homes in Kansas City.
That's right, Mitch. We'll pay more for any home. No hassles or strings attached. We'll buy your home as is for quick, instant cash in only 7 days.
Every home seller scores more with Rex. Rex and his team buy homes for any reason. Bankruptcy, foreclosure, probate, damaged or vacant homes, as is, and you rush away with instant cash.
Homeowners, don't get sacked with a poor financial decision. Call me, Rex, now at 816-330-6000. Fair and honest prices because we know bad things can happen to good people.
Tackled by big home improvement costs, roofs, plumbing, exteriors cost you thousands. Pocket that money and walk away debt and worry free.
Before you sign to sell, call me at 816-330-6000 or online at rexbuyskc.com.
Call the champions, Rex Buys Houses at 816-330-6000 or online at rexbuyskc.com.
Well, I want to tell you about another winner. It's my friends at Window World. They are ranked #1 in number of windows sold in the country by Qualified Remodeler magazine. They're also the official window of the Kansas City Chiefs. So you know the Chiefs are a winner. And Window World, they have windows that are one of 2 windows that are locked in with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. In just over 20 years of business, they have improved the look and thermal efficiency over 52,000 homes in Kansas City. Plus, your windows come with a lifetime warranty that covers all your parts, glass breakage, and labor. It also uses a double-strength glass. It gives it that extra strength that is not commonly used in your normal replacement windows. They are giving an incredible deal right now. They are offering 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. 18 months, that's a year and a half. So do me this favor. Give them a call for a free home estimate. Check out the website, and they can show you how they are simply the best for less. Fall is right around the corner. You know winter is going to be here before you know it. I want you to get ready, and the best way to do that is with my friends at Window World.
Inside the Huddle with Cody and Gold, each day from noon until 1 on 610 Sports Radio. Inside the Huddle is brought to you by Blue KC. Live healthy with Blue KC on the official radio partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. 610 Sports Radio.
Hey guys, Beat Up here from Fesco in the Morning. You heard me talk about it on the show, past 100 days. And guess what? We're almost in the 360s. Yes. Started the program at 444 pounds, now down over 70 pounds in just a short time. I hooked up with my girl Leanne at the 119th and Metcalf location, and she's put a program together for me that is working like a charm. I get to eat real food, still get to eat at restaurants, and the weight continues to fall off. So if you got that extra 10, 20, 50, or almost 200 pounds like myself that you need to take off, well, it's time to make that call. Set up that free consultation today. And when you tell them that you heard it from B-Dub, you get 6 weeks for only $66. And with your Slim for Life plan, you have the option to add your first 4 weeks of semaglutide medication for only $99. 833-SLIM today. That's the number you need to call. 833-754-6863. Hit them online at slim4life.com. All services included, exclusive of products. When you schedule that free consultation, you can win tickets to see our defending champions play on October 12th. So what are you waiting for? Make the call. Change your life. Be Slim for Life. Tell them B-Dub sent you.
Highland Dairy is looking for hardworking, experienced professionals to join their team. Visit HighlandDairy.com to learn more. Highland Dairy Foods Company, LLC is an equal opportunity employer.
For station contest rules, visit Odyssey.com/610sports/contest rules.
You know, I'm all about efficiency. 2 birds, 1 stone. The best of both worlds, that sort of thing. I eat all my meals with a spork, and my favorite condiment is Ketch Must Mayo Mayonnaise. That's why I installed a Navian Combi boiler at home. Think about it. Endless hot water and high efficiency whole home heating all in one. It's perfect. They're compact, Energy Star certified, and can even get you a federal tax credit. Navian, you really get me. If you want to find out more, and of course you do, go to boilerseason.com.
Welcome to the Continental.
From the world of John Wick comes a Peacock original 3-part event that takes us back to 1970s New York. The Continental.
This institution wields power beyond your imagination.
Let's take this house and everything that comes with it.
The Continental, from the world of John Wick. Streaming now.
And away we go.
Only on Peacock.
Whether it's a backyard barbecue, delicious, or a parking lot tailgate, nothing gets the party started like Kingsford Matchlight Charcoal. With Kingsford Matchlight, all it takes is a match. No lighter fluid needed, making it the perfect charcoal for on-the-go get-togethers. Give your food a smoky barbecue flavor and give your crowd something else to cheer about. With Kingsford Matchlight Charcoal, Kingsford's fastest lighting charcoal. Kingsford.com.
If that sound gives you nightmares, there's a cheap and easy way to avoid engines not firing. Stable, America's #1 fuel stabilizer, ensures quick and easy starts after storage. Stable's proprietary formula keeps fuel fresh for 2 years, outperforming competitors. Pour Stable in your gas can or directly into the tank of your car, truck, hybrid, boat, ATV, motorcycle, or lawnmower to prevent fuel-related engine problems that cost time and money. When you store, start with Stable.
The 610 Sports Radio phone line is brought to you by Onder Law Injury Lawyers. Visit getjim.com.
This report is brought to you by KC Customs. We put the customs in KC. KC-Customs.com.
Want a new truck, Jeep, or SUV, but don't want a new payment? Then come by KC Customs. We'll turn your boring ride into one that turns heads and breaks necks. Set yourself apart from the crowd. Go to KC Customs. We put the customs in KC.
Back here on Cody and Gold, Alex Gill, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we'll get to the random question of the day. Also, we'll head onto the sidelines with Josh Klingler at 1 o'clock. He'll be at the Meadowlands on Sunday night as the Chiefs take on the Jets. Well, it's the final week of Royals baseball, and we welcome in Josh Vernier, our Royals insider. Vern, Saturday night. Saturday night's the night. It was going to be Friday.
I thought it was going to be
now
Friday.
Now it's Saturday. Jordan Lyles, final start of the year, going for win number 6. It's the biggest game of the season outside of opening day.
Man, I wish I could get there with you. I'm looking ahead to Sunday as maybe the biggest game of the year next to opening day. But yeah, 6:10 Saturday, Jordan Lyles looking for win number 6. It is all very perfect. And I'm curious, is Cody rooting for it, against it?
I think against it.
For it.
Where's the wind blowing this week?
As soon as I can, which is usually about a day out, as soon as I can bet Jordan Lyles to win, I got a crisp $100 bill heading directly towards it, Vern. Either I lose $100 and I donate to the casino, or we get our cash for the Dom Perignon.
All right, if you're going to put your money where your mouth is, man, I got nothing but support. I'm with you. I'm with Jordan Lyles. I don't know who he's facing for the New York Yankees. To be quite honest with you, I'm not really worried about it. Jordan Lyles is the, well, you know what actually kind of worries me about the game is Greinke going on Sunday. You got to imagine that's more of a bullpen game, even though I understand his past 2 outings have been more of the Greinke we've become accustomed to, dating back to last season, giving you 5 innings and a chance to win. Looking at that final game, I'm really expecting, 3, maybe 4 from Greinke. So my point is, you're going to need frames from Jordan Lyles. So even if he's pitching well through 5, he's probably going to grind through 6+. And, well, you know how that normally turns out, third time through the order.
You mentioned Sunday. Not only is it the end of the regular season, so you'll get a little bit of a break, but Zach Greinke is going to start for this team in a home start. And I just feel like the way he's acting in his last couple of start, Vern, means this is it.
Yeah.
Like Zach Greinke's going to retire after the game on Sunday.
Well, who knows when he does it.
Well, sure.
But yeah, I certainly believe that Sunday's going to be the final game of his Hall of Fame career because it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's done. Smoke and mirrors can well, he's performed fine this season for having the stuff that he does. He's relied on his intellect and his guile and his ability to catch hitters off balance. But you know, for as much as I know, and I understand there are people out there going, well, you know, move him to the bullpen, let him get to 3,000. He needs just 23 strikeouts to reach 3,000. Put him in a bullpen. You know, use him as the way that you have been. Use him as an opener. Put an opener in front of him. We got to be past that, right?
Yeah.
You're 49 games below 500. I'm not in 2024 looking for cute stories. I'm looking for dubs.
I would, however, like him to get to hit on Sunday. Is that asking too much?
Well, Bob and Josh brought it up earlier today to Matt Quatrero, and you know, he at first he was pushing the whole, it's against the rules now. You got to designate a pitcher as a two-way player, and to be a two-way player, you actually have to play the field or hit consistently or hit in the past that we can designate you a two-way guy. But then at the end of his answer, he was saying, no, there is a way to do it. It's just going to take a lot of manipulation. Well,
who cares? Do it.
Do that manipulation.
Yes,
and there's absolutely no reason why Zach Greinke shouldn't bat. Coming up on Sunday, 1 home run away from 10, 1 stolen base away from 10. And it always reminds me of his final season in Houston and the story that A.J. Hinch tells. Greinke in an interleague game gets on base. Big spot. 2 outs, close game, and he takes off, tries to steal second base, gets thrown out, end of the inning, end of the threat. He comes back to the dugout, and A.J. Hinch is like, dude, what was that? And he says, 10 and 10. That's it, 10 and 10. He wants it. He's wanted it for a very long time. You got to let him hit coming up on Sunday. But some people are telling me it's against the rules. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing how it's impossible to give him an at-bat. Just one. You got to give him one.
Find a way to make it happen.
Like, it's so funny to me that in Zach Greinke's career, he probably doesn't care about 3,000 strikeouts. He's been asked about the wins. He's been asked, like, some of those numbers, Vern, they don't actually mean anything to the man. The 10th stolen base does. It does mean something to him.
I agree that the 10th stolen base, the 10th home run would probably mean the most to him. But I'm not buying it anymore. He's not sentimental, he's quirky.
He's showing more.
Yeah, man, he asked for the ball when he thought that was going to be win number 225 last night in his career. When asked about 3,000 by Andy Rodgers recently, he said, the question was, do you think about reaching 3,000 strikeouts? Is that a motivating factor? And his reply was, I don't know. And to me, that means he does think about it. He is aware of it. Shoot, look at his last 3 performances. Look at the punch-outs that he's racked up, right?
Yeah.
10 strikeouts in his last 2 outings. He didn't have 10 strikeouts in his previous 2 months before that. And I'm being somewhat facetious, but it matters to him. For as much as we like to act as if he's above all of those numbers and the ancillary things that you and I get caught up in, the guy's also a baseball historian, a very knowledgeable baseball legend, and he knows where he fits in, and he knows what 3,000 would mean to his legacy. It's a Hall of Fame legacy regardless, but 3,000 just looks pretty.
I know it's at home on Sunday, but I will say, based on his performance yesterday, I kind of hope that wasn't the, this is the last reminder of what I used to look like kind of performance. I'm a little concerned that Sunday may not go as well. He pitched great last night.
Yeah, but there's something inside players like Greinke. You've been around him in all sports. When you're that great, you have a difficult time, or not difficult. It's impossible to just roll over. It's impossible to just go through the motions. There's an inner competitor that has allowed him to work as hard as he works in the offseason, to show up for 20 years and pitch at a very high level. I don't think you're going to turn that off the final time you step on a big league mound.
When you look at the rest of this team, I know we've just got these couple of days left, Vern, before we get there. What do you think? Because we'll talk to you, I think the next time it might just be to wrap up the season, right? When it's completely done. What do you think you learned about this team? We said it was an evaluation year. What are the 2 or 3 things that you feel like you know about this team for next season?
The team, nothing. Individuals and the organization, you certainly feel better about the organization and the way that the process is being utilized by the pitching department, by the front office in what they're looking for and how they're going to set out to acquire talent moving forward. That's maybe the most encouraging thing, second to Bobby Witt Jr. But we talk about the evaluation season. Of course, Bobby aced it. Vinnie passed it very early on. Maikel Garcia followed shortly thereafter, and then Freddie Fermin. And look, C+ is a passing grade. B- is a passing grade, and those are what I would give Nelson Velasquez and MJ Melendez. So 2 more, in my opinion, passed this evaluation season. So that's 2 outfielders, a first baseman, and 2 middle infielders, or the left side of your infield. That's 5 of your 9 starters basically every single day. That's encouraging. Cole Reagans, it's no longer hype, in my opinion, with what he's done his last 3 times out in Toronto, at home against the Astros, and then in Houston. For him to put together 3 straight performances and having to overcome that goofy wild pitch scenario in Toronto, and then going through that monstrous Houston lineup so consistently in back-to-back starts, that's now the expectation for me going into next season. It is for Cole Ragans to be a true number 2 or a Kansas City number 1, if you know what I mean. For as much as we had high hopes for Brady Singer, I never had those hopes for Brady. That's where I'm at now with Cole Ragans. So those would be my takeaways from the evaluation season.
Lastly, someone wanted to know just how many weeks will you go before you answer any type of Royal questions to non-media people? How long do you wait to check out?
Oh, man, it takes me, I would say, 48 hours before I'm desperate for attention and someone to listen to me and driving my wife crazy. So it'll be pretty quickly. If anyone's interested in talking baseball, I'm going to be locked into the postseason throughout.
I don't want to speak for Vern for sure, but you get bored a little faster than you think, Vern. People think, that time's good. You get bored in a hurry.
You're right. Yeah. No question. And I don't have kids to chase after. I just have. I don't like cooking as much as you do. So, yeah, I got to pick up a hobby here. It's going on 12 years. You think I would find one by now, but sadly, actually, you know what? I think that hobby is gambling and
don't say sadly
drinking beer.
Don't say sadly.
Well, if you're looking for a place to be, Hollywood Casino after the game on Sunday night with Vinnie Pasquantino, he says he's hitting the blackjack table.
You're a pro, Cody. That was a nice transition. The blackjack. Hey, wherever. When you and listen, Vinny hasn't even cashed in yet, but still, that's a different tax bracket. So I'll go and watch Vinny throw his money around, but I don't know if I'm going to partake.
That's always fun.
I'd rather gamble on sports. Now that gambling on sports is legal in Kansas, I'm kind of over table games and all that stuff. Just give me sports.
Who do you like in the postseason, though? Real quick, I know we can check in maybe when it gets going, but I was telling Cody, I actually think the Twins might surprise people this postseason.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, when you have a Pablo Lopez and a Sonny Gray, Joe Ryan coming at you 1, 2, 3, that's a pretty formidable force. It's just I just feel that they got that dark cloud over the stadium where if they can win game 1, maybe I'm with you, but I just feel like they're going to pucker up again in the postseason. Who would I? Toronto, to me, is maybe the scariest team in the American League. I'll say Toronto, and I don't know how you pick against Atlanta, especially if Max Fried comes back healthy. But I'll say Toronto in the American League, and give me the Braves in the National League.
Toronto plus 750 to come out of the AL, and the NL, of course, Atlanta, the favorite, no surprise, plus 130. All right, Vern, appreciate it, man. We'll check in one final time, maybe next week or so.
Sounds good. Thank you.
There you go. That's Josh Vernier, our Royals insider. Final week of the Royals season. Yeah, I'm keyed into Saturday night. I get Sunday. It's the finale, and it's Greinke's likely final start in the big leagues, period, which is wild to say.
I'm in Saturday and Sunday. Jordan Lyles for Saturday night, Greinke for Sunday.
Drew and I want to be drinking Dom next Friday, and so that requires Jordan Lyles getting 6 wins because that's the agreement. You have to buy a bottle when he gets to 6.
I can't even get like a look-ahead line. I want to know what I'm getting.
You got to wait till probably Friday night,
Am I getting
man.
plus 170? Am I getting plus 2? What am I getting for Jordan Lyles to win this game on Saturday night?
Yeah, I think
I'm putting the money on it.
You got to wait till after the game Friday.
They normally, in baseball, sometimes you can, I don't know if you can bet on that, but you can normally bet on some parts of the game about a day before. Like I can look at some of the lines for Thursday's games for Major League Baseball now. I don't know anybody who bets on baseball games a full day in advance, but Vern's right. You do kind of get bored. The Cole Ragans thing is easily the most exciting part about this. He's finished the Royals season because he just pitched. Oh, wait, no. Is he scheduled to go one more time? Doesn't matter. If he's not, Cole Ragans, in his time for the Royals this year.
He pitches.
Today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Yeah,
tomorrow. Far in his time for the Royals, 11 games, 65 innings, 2.34 ERA, an opponent's batting average of 192, and the man is striking out everyone. It's hard to not be. You don't have to fall in love with the team or any of that stuff. It is hard not to be excited about at least Cole Ragans and Bobby Witt Jr. and a couple of these other guys where they are true big leaguers and it's working.
Yeah, and one of the items that we will have Sunday night out at Hollywood Casino for the silent auction is a Cole Ragans signed jersey. We have that is confirmed. Saw it with my own eyes yesterday, as did you.
I did.
So we do have a Cole Ragans signed jersey for the silent auction Sunday night.
Vinny was digging through. We kind of felt bad. Vinny was like, really, some of his stuff is back in his home. because, he's been injured and recovering. So he's been trying to make sure he procures the nicest possible things so we can raise as much possible money for Wayside Waves.
All right, let's get to it, Drew. Random question of the day.
Random question.
For you, Gold. For you, Drew, over in the text line, 913-586-7610. I do remember my random question of the day today. I don't have to rack the bottom of my brain.
All right.
Looking like an idiot trying to remember what it is. Happens to the best of us. But instead, we're going to go to the world of social media, where somebody had asked a question on social media only to find out that the answer was a majority of the time 99% yes, which is, do you ever think about cool jackets? They said that they were with their boyfriend only to find out that all men, apparently in her opinion, at some point think about either a cool jacket they owned, want to own, or have thought about owning in certain circumstances. They include like the jacket from the movie Drive or a leather jacket maybe you had your mind on at some point. The question I have for you is, do you often think about a jacket you wish you possessed?
No.
Wow, you're in the minority according to this.
Do I think about owning a leather jacket?
Just
No.
any jacket. Are there jackets that you're like, it's been like an earworm for you?
No.
That you've consistently gone back to and thought about that cool jacket?
No.
I do not think about it, but for example, I was at the restaurant eating dinner with my wife the other day, and somebody walked by with a leather jacket. I was like, that's a nice jacket.
So kind of.
All right.
Drew
No,
is
I mean,
maybe
I don't
kind
think
of.
about it, but if it comes up and I'm present.
I think about a jacket one time that I saw and I'm like, that's a really nice. I was like, that's a really nice jacket. I was like, it's a little too expensive. And I thought, I'd still kind of like that jacket, but I'm never going to possess it. I've thought back to that jacket. How about bad jackets? Do you think about like Kurt Warner's silver one or any of the other ones across the board? You know which one I think about sometimes that I'm like, I wish I could pull off? The red Monarchs jackets, so like satin finish. I like the look of those satin finish jackets, but I decidedly can't pull them off. So I'm never going to own one, even though I like the look of the blue royal satin and the red Monarch satin jackets.
It doesn't really cross my mind except for during the Big 12 tournament. I'll remember the red jacket security guard lady at Sprint Center that runs on the court.
That's it for your jacket. You're in the minority here. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, but like, are you saying like that the jacket you want, or you just, like I don't just sit on a random weekend and be like, man, that jacket I saw last week, I really want it. No, I don't. Not at all.
I don't imagine or fantasize about a jacket that I could wear. That is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What's your fantasy earlier? Cody's was looking at a jacket, I guess, or something. I'm surprised by this. So interesting. The text
They
line
asked the question and only to find out that it seemed like a majority of people do. And
I will say
cool
this
jackets.
though, if it of all the things like if I'm in a place or if I'm watching a game and there's a team warming up, like a basketball game, and they're warming up, I'm not going to say, those are nice shoes. Like, I will say, those are some nice warm-ups, or that's a nice jacket. I tend to go to the jacket maybe more than...
But you're not thinking about it for the next week and a half.
Somebody says they think about starter jackets all the time.
I'm not laying down in bed and thinking of a jacket that I would like. Or
I
something
have
like
a starter jacket, a Chiefs retro starter jacket, but I didn't think about it for years and years until I got one.
That being said, Cody, when you sent the homage link with those jackets that the NFL is doing, I did spend maybe 5 minutes just scrolling and like, oh yeah, that was nice.
Really looking through, you're like, yeah, these jackets are kind of
I wish the Bengals had better ones. The Chiefs one's nice.
Yeah, it's a good look. No, the only time like leather jacket back in, I don't know, I might have been in
never owned a leather
third or
jacket.
fourth grade. So I obviously, we've talked about, I have a sister, twin sister, is the same age, obviously. And a couple of her friends dressed up for Halloween, like for Grease, right? The movie Grease.
Sure.
And so I dressed up in a leather jacket for that, but that was like first. There's a photo out there
I gotta
somewhere.
be honest, it seems like even if you're not fantasizing about the type of jacket you want to own, we all think about jackets way more than we want to admit.
But again, this is I just
how
told you a
often do you buy a
memory,
new
but I'm not
jacket?
I hadn't thought about that memory for I don't know 15
Until
years.
you
How
literally
often do
asked
you
the
get a new
question.
jacket?
No, I don't even know.
When's the last time you bought a new lightweight jacket?
Couldn't tell you.
Man, you really just
My
this is
North
not a
Face
part
that
of
I
your
have
life?
is probably 5 years old.
I
don't
can't tell you the
think-
last time I bought one either.
I don't
Someone
think
says
about
no
it.
one pines for a cool
I'm very
jacket.
this
Someone
is
says they own a vintage shop, so they think about cool jackets all the time.
yeah. It's just this is bizarre to me.
Yeah,
Like we all obviously own jackets. It doesn't mean you're thinking about them all the time.
It might be the article of
Very
clothing
confused.
that I am the most careful about purchasing when I like need a new jacket. I won't think that hard about a pair of pants or a sweatshirt, or I won't like I won't think about the decision about whether a shirt, to be like, whatever. These are all just shirts. They're fine. This one seems good.
I feel like it's like
jacket. I'm much more careful about.
I mean, you can even go back to the Seinfeld episode where Jerry Seinfeld has got the new jacket and he is in love with his jacket. And George Costanza walks in. He's like, it's a new jacket. The first thing that he notices. I mean, it's not anything else. It's the jacket.
Somebody just mentioned the XXX leather jacket with those giant leather, the like sheepskin cuffs that like go down to your belly button almost. That's all. This question was...
Is it because you're wearing a jacket today? You want us to bring up your Masters jacket that you're wearing today?
I wear jackets all the time.
It is a nice Master. It is a nice Masters.
It is a nice jacket.
This jacket's going... I have to get... I told you, $1 per wear. Big fan of that.
Are you getting close?
I got to get $1. Not even close. I'm going to have to wear this thing for like 2 more years to get $1 per wear.
Yeah,
I'm a big believer, Drew, in the $1 per wear theory when it comes to clothes, which is you haven't spent too much money if you can get it to $1 per wear.
Well, yeah.
So if you spend $250 on something, just as long as you wear those shoes 250 times, we're good.
Why would you buy it in like shoes? That's the thing with shoes that doesn't make any sense to me. Is people will spend $350 on shoes and mount them, or not mount them. They'll put them in a case and just have them there, but they never wear them. That doesn't make much sense. I understand a jersey, like the jersey that you just got, Gold. The
frame, Pacheco.
The Pacheco signed jersey. It's signed.
That's
You're not touching that.
Yeah, it's already framed. But yeah, that's also just a memorabilia item.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you on the shoe thing. It also just a bit like, for a lot of that, hey, if you got the money to spend $300 on shoes you're never going to wear and just going to sit there, and that's your hobby, like everybody's got, we were talking about hobbies with Vern. Some people, it's collecting shoes, right?
Yeah.
I like this. Someone just said, Cody, there's a jacket from '94 that wrestler Shawn Michaels wore on TV once. It's the only jacket I ever think about. I'll tag you in the picture. This one jacket has held this man hostage.
Someone says you have to be misinterpreting the question or doubt. There's no way 99% of men spend time thinking about jackets. If you ask if there's a jacket you wish you had but don't, probably. Yeah, I don't know. I think...
I'm just letting you know what the internet said.
It's more likely that 99% of people, in terms of articles of clothing, that they were to bring up that they liked, it would be the jacket's the first thing that they bring up.
Interesting. Okay.
What's the nicest jacket you've ever owned, Gold?
I don't know. Honestly, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think about this. It's not what I'm thinking about.
It's low on your priority list. That at least we've established based on your... We can ask Kling when we talk to him.
Like someone said, they think about yellow jackets. Yeah, I thought about a lot of those last summer, all over my patio. Wasp and yellow jackets. Wasp, yellow jackets.
Like the TV show?
They never came back, though, by the way.
Well, then that...
They knew what was going to happen if they came back, and they're gone. They never came back.
After you weren't you didn't have to do the gasoline trick.
No, yeah, that was bizarre. That was bizarre. All right, that's the random question of the day. We get right back into the Chiefs coming up next, though. Josh Klingler, he'll be on the sidelines at the Meadowlands Sunday night. Get his perspective on the Chiefs, Jets, and, of course, what he makes of America's newest couple.
Cody and Gold.
The facts on this show are irrelevant.
Brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com.
Dick Butkus here. I've got a game changer for you. When it comes to creating a winning website, there's only one team I trust. AmericanEagle.com. I've known them for 25 years. In my career, I learned that success isn't just about talent, it's about teamwork. That's what you'll find at AmericanEagle.com. They'll listen to your goals and work with you and handle all your digital properties. They'll ensure your website is user-friendly, responsive, and optimized for search engines. AmericanEagle.com also provides ongoing support and digital marketing strategies that will keep you ahead of the competition. They even host our podcast. Whether you're a medium to large business or a big-time player, AmericanEagle.com is the top choice. Visit www.americaneagle.com for website design, development, and online solutions that deliver efficiency and results. Go to AmericanEagle.com or call them at 877-WEB-NOW-1.
Pure at 350 Highway and Nolan Road has Kansas City's best VIP rooms, Kansas City's most beautiful women, and Kansas City's wildest post-game party. Till 3 a.m. Pure at 350 Highway and Nolan Road. The best VIP rooms, beautiful women, and now open Sunday, so you can celebrate a KC victory with the best post-game party in town. Till 3 a.m. Pure 350 Highway and Nolan Road.
Hi, it's Trey Smith, and in order for our team to get a victory, we need honesty, teamwork, work ethic, humility, and the golden rule. That's why my truck is from the dealer that embodies all those values, Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram also supports Giving Hope, whose sole purpose is to feed and clothe the needy in Wyandotte County and beyond. Giving back in the highest integrity, that's how Jeff and his team do business. For your next vehicle, visit or go to victorychrysler-dodge-jeepram.com.
Your attention is precious. Pulled in a million directions for a million different reasons. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City works hard to make sure your health insurance isn't one of the many things distracting you from what's important. By making healthcare easier to navigate, we help keep your focus on the moments that matter most. Like dinner with loved ones. Letting you focus on you. That's the benefit of Blue. Learn more at BlueKC.com.
Football, football, football. Head into Hollywood Casino at Kansas Speedway to the only sportsbook counter in Kansas City. Place a minimum $100 wager at the sportsbook counter. Receive a $20 PIN Sports Play voucher. Earn up to $3 a week for $60 in Sports Play vouchers. Now until September 28th. Don't miss any of the action this season at Hollywood Casino at Kansas Speedway. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Celebrate your home team's Tully touchdown with Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. May your team be swift and their aim true. May the refs be forever in your favor and your whiskey always Tullamore Dew. Tullamore Dew, the original triple blended, triple distilled, smooth sipping Irish whiskey, made exactly for game day moments like this. Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume, imported by William Grant & Sons Incorporated, New York, New York. Please enjoy Tullamore Dew responsibly.
Snap into action this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. All you got to do is place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel for this football season, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is super easy to use, and you got a wide spread of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. And I love the boost. Great bonus options from FanDuel. So visit FanDuel.com, use my promo code CDOT, and kick off this NFL season. FanDuel, an official partner of the NFL, and also 610 Sports Radio. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expires 7 days after a street. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Inside the Huddle with Cody and Gold, each day from noon until 1 on 610 Sports Radio. Inside the Huddle is brought to you by Blue KC. Live healthy with Blue KC on the official radio partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. 610 Sports Radio.
It's time for football. It's easy with Old Shawnee Pizza and their Wednesday special. Buy any medium one-topping pizza and get the second one-topping medium for half price. Go to ShawneePizza.com to order for pickup, delivery, or eat in. Old Shawnee Pizza, 3 locations.
I'm Mitch Holtis, voice of the Kansas City Chiefs. Choosing the best doctor for your eyes is one of the most important medical decisions you'll ever make. Whether you're considering blade-free LASIK, all laser cataract surgery, and premium lens implants, or want a world-renowned doctor to help with your glaucoma, macular degeneration, dry eyes, or diabetes, trust my doctor, Dr. Steven Silverstein. Call Silverstein Eye Centers to make an appointment, 816-358-3600. Experience the best eye care in Kansas City.
Hello, I'm Greg Figueroa.
And I'm David Figueroa. Over 30 years ago, my brother Greg and I set out on a mission to offer the world a better hot sauce.
That's right, David. We made Melinda's thicker, hotter, and better than ordinary hot sauces.
And now we have 32 exciting and delicious sauces that hot sauce fans are obsessed with, like our ghost pepper sauce, our Thai sweet chili, and our best-selling black truffle hot sauce.
Melinda's also has 5 spicy ketchups made with real sugar and no added junk like high fructose corn syrup. People ask David and I, what makes Melinda so good? That's easy. We think like chefs do. Instead of burning someone with hot peppers and vinegar, we use fresh plant-based ingredients and the finest chili peppers perfectly blended to set your mouth on flavor.
Go to melindas.com to find our line of craft condiments at Walmart and other fine retailers. And right now, get a 10-pack of our best-selling sauces with free shipping at melindas.com. That's melindas.com. melindas.com.
Inside the Huddle is brought to you by Blue KC. Live healthy with Blue KC.
You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Max Motors Studios.
Hey, this is Chiefs Radio Network color analyst Danan Hughes. Catch me every Tuesday morning at 7:30 on Fesco in the Morning, right here on 610 Sports Radio and the Odyssey app.
KCSP Kansas City, WDAF HD2 Liberty. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Dreaming about the day when you wake up and find that what you're looking for has been here the whole time. If you could see that
1 o'clock hour on a Wednesday. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you.
Have you been listening to more Taylor Swift in the car?
I don't know more, but I've definitely just noticed it way more, if that makes sense.
I drove my daughter and her friend to dance last night, and they had originally requested Taylor Swift and then immediately switched to Shakira, so didn't hold too long.
I know our next guest, Josh Klingler, who of course will be on the sideline in the Meadowlands coming up on Sunday night. This morning, both you and Bob had your daughters on the show, right? They had her power ranking Taylor Swift songs.
Yes, all three of us had all of our daughters.
And beat up, sorry, yeah.
Because we don't, I know more of her music than I thought I did, which was, I guess, was a win. But instead of us power ranking, we had our daughters power rank, and a long process for a 2-minute bit.
I bet it was. They took it very seriously too.
They did. There was a lot of research that was done. I think we all ran the same thing. We asked our daughters for, just give me your 4 favorite songs. Well, what do you mean my 4 favorite? How am I supposed to rank these? Just
like, welcome to our world. It's called Mount Rushmoring. We all do it. I'm sorry that the decisions are tough, but just choose 4 songs you like.
That's pretty much what it was. Like, well, we just kind of make stuff up on the fly, but if you want to do research, you go for it.
Like, your friends are going to hold this against you 20 years from now. You are exactly allowed to change your opinion.
Yeah, my daughter said, I think I want to seek some input. I got to see if so-and-so. I'm like, no, we're not doing it. Just give me 4 songs.
He's got to make a call.
Yeah,
That's all.
fun with it, though.
I do
they
think
did a good job.
Do you think, I think Travis is smitten. I think he is acting more shy and bashful than I've ever seen Travis Kelce act.
But also the highest profile. I mean, no doubt, right? I mean, his world, I don't think he knows his world is going to be turned upside down. I mean, it already is. New York Post had comparing their houses, and I mean, they're really going to dig into Travis here. So this is way more exposure than I bet he realized. So, and then maybe this is just, this could be the one, maybe, so he's much more serious about this, or he's taking it slowly, it seems.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, good for him. But yeah, it feels like he doesn't know, paparazzi in front of his house. I don't think he knew it. He signed up.
Yeah, it's a whole different ball game here for Travis Kelce now going forward. And you're going to be in New York. Do you know if Taylor Swift will also be in New York with you and the team on Sunday night?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't get any rumblings until being in the stadium the other day that something was happening. And so I don't know if it'll take to that point in time. I don't know. Do you up the stakes at this point? Have you made your appearance and that's good enough? Do you take it one more level further, which is New York City? I
think she lives in New York City. Why not? If you're going to go to the game in Kansas City, Kling, why not just go where you live?
And the concerts don't resume until next month, and so this is kind of your window to go watch football. So I wouldn't be shocked, I guess.
I mean, I feel like it's going to happen in that case. Meanwhile, this is back-to-back games where we're just like, well, it's the Jets. They absolutely buried the Bears. Should we be careful and just assuming they're going to go out there and bury the Jets on Sunday night?
I think the Jets' defense is better. Their offense might be worse with Zach. So I don't think that they're going to score any points. And so as good as this Chiefs defense has been playing too, I think they're going to limit the Jets to nothing. And then, I think that as good as the Jets may be defensively, it still shouldn't be a problem for this Chiefs offense, right? To outscore the Jets. And so I don't know if it's going to be 41-10, but I got to think it's going to be kind of lopsided. This team's in, I think, a worse way from the quarterback position than even the Bears were a week ago, and they got nothing from the quarterback position. So I think the Zach Wilson problem is a problem, and it seems like everything out of New York seems to be that the locker room is on the verge of being lost if there's much more of this quarterback nonsense going on. I don't know how they remedy that, but it sure feels like it's not going in the right direction.
I don't know how the game is close unless you tell me that the Jets defense gets multiple scores Forced fumble, a pick six. That's just to get it close. That's just to have it in the fourth quarter as a one-possession game, in my opinion. I just don't see the Jets being able to move the football at all on offense. It's basically had 2 drives all year where they've moved the ball.
Yeah, I think that's the problem right there. Like, you just look at the matchups, you're like, this shouldn't be a thing. And then, Chiefs did a great job last week, I thought, kind of tuning out all the stuff, we were all saying about how bad the Bears were. And so I'm guessing if they take that same philosophy this week with the Jets, they should be fine. They didn't look like that they had taken anybody lightly last week. They just went out and, crushed a bad team, and hopefully they do that again.
When you look at what the Chiefs are doing defensively, we talked about it as it relates to where this team will be at the end of the year. If you had to predict the future, it is Week 18, it is just wrapped up, and I asked you if this team is better than Week 18's team last year. What is your answer?
I think defensively they certainly have a chance to be. I don't know. Do you think Week 18 last year we were fully? I mean, there were still enough offensive questions, right? There were enough offensive questions, certainly, but
they were still the number one scoring offense in the league.
They were, but we were still like, whoa, but who's their go-to? There were still those like silly things. So, I think defensively this has the makings of one that's going to be better. I think from a talent perspective, and certainly from now a little more of an experience perspective, and then the offense. Almost takes care of itself. I mean, I think, they're going to, I don't know if they'll be number one for sure, but I think at the end, it'll look pretty close, right? Like Mahomes' numbers will be Mahomes' numbers like they are every year. And I think we'll be plenty satisfied with the offense. But I think the defense, if they, certainly if they trend in the direction they're going now, they're going to be a formidable one that we'll feel a whole lot better about heading into the postseason.
Kling, it seems like Andy's gotten to where most of us had been already. And fan base with this whole Juwan Taylor alignment stuff. Seems like he's just fed up with it. He called it ridiculous the other day. He said they're picking on Juwan Taylor. It sounded like they intentionally tried to bait the refs into seeing if they would call it on another player, and they didn't because they're clearly, again, just picking on Juwan Taylor.
It's interesting to see if there will be any backlash. I would think when Andy speaks, it would carry a lot of weight. And I know in the past I've definitely called upon him to do that. There are times I'm like, why don't you go ahead and fight this? Like, you're Andy Reid. You could say something and move the needle, around the NFL. And so to see him kind of choose this particular thing, I thought to kind of go out more on a limb than he has before was interesting. I can't foresee the referees taking it out on him because he publicly called them out. But I think that they kind of pointed around the rest of the league like, look, we're trying to do something different about this. We're trying to make him adjust. But if you're not going to call anybody else, what's the point? So I don't think there's going to be a backlash like we had with pass interference. Remember when the referees wouldn't call it?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be to that extent. But I got to think it's going to settle down at this point, or they're going to just start getting others flagged, because it seems like the Chiefs at least tried to make an adjustment in that regard, and will continue to have to do so, because I think, as much as you want to say, well, it's not fair, they're doing it to others, I think Juwan Taylor's the one that's got to adjust. Like, you just have to be a little more on point with what you're doing and not get any extra cheats.
Yeah, I feel like other teams we've just seen, they've also just had their guards line up further back too. Like, I feel like everybody's just off the line of scrimmage now. I mean, is that, to me, at some point, this has to change a little bit. I mean, it's getting to a point where you almost just got to see how much push the limits even more. If I'm every other team in the league too, how far back are they going to let everybody else go?
I've jokingly called it the flying V. You need to line up your offensive line in that goose formation.
Go for it.
Until somebody calls it, you're just going to line up in a V until somebody throws the flag on you. So I don't know. I got to think that, after last week, this has kind of got to be it. We'll see. I'd like it to not continue to be something that's almost has to be addressed. But I feel like if Andy Reid spoke out about it, I'm sure that they had conversations and probably sent some tape, those types of things, and hopefully they've gotten this to an end.
When you look at the rest of this season from the wide receiver stuff, I think we all feel like Sky's found a role. Rashee Rice has looked a little bit better every week. Is there a certain time frame in which you think the Chiefs think they can count on Tony? Or do we just need to assume he's a 15-snap wide receiver the rest of the year? He's playing about 12 a game right now, Kling, the toe injury after the knee injury. And we haven't really gotten the full breadth of the offense, I think, because we haven't gotten a chance to see Tony.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, you and I's perspective versus their perspective is always different too, right? Because I'm to the camp of like, if it gives you something great, but I'm not counting on it.
Yeah.
They may be a little further in that direction than I would be. But also last week, it's just hard to tell. Last week was the perfect week not to push it. You didn't need all hands on deck, right? Same with Nick Bolton. Like, you kind of bought yourself a week with both of them in that regard. Nick Bolton not playing at all, and Tony barely playing, and like make sure you're healthy for when things start to ramp up a little bit. So to me, it's kind of hard to tell what exactly their plan is for Tony, because he's one, got to get healthy, and then two, if you got a game that's kind of silly like last week, why push anybody?
Kling, do you ever think about jackets or cool jackets you wish you had at some point in your life?
In reference to
It was just a question that was being asked on the internet. They said they asked somebody if they ever think about like a jacket that they'd wish they'd had at some point, and how often they think about different types of jackets. I'm curious if you think about jackets.
I mean, I think we've been through phases of things where I see that like some of the starter jackets come back, and like, wow, I had that. I had that a long time ago. I wish I still had that one that cycle back around. So yeah, I probably thought about it from that vein. Like, hey, there's a jacket I used to have, or that's cool again, or boy, that was ugly back in the day. So some of those things, yeah.
Okay, that's all.
I didn't know if I missed.
No, you're good.
I didn't know if I missed a jacket storyline.
I had the same reaction. That's why I'm laughing. I was like, what?
Gold says he thinks more about shoes than jackets.
Well,
I thought maybe the Taylor Swift, she wore that jacket. I thought
that already sold out, by the way. You can't get that jacket anywhere.
Yeah, imagine that fly off the shelf. So I thought maybe that was the reference. I wasn't sure.
But it's anything if she wears anything Chiefs related, that item immediately is selling out. It doesn't matter what it is.
It's crazy and awesome.
Well, let us know if you. I expect full coverage if you see Taylor Swift in the. I guess what would they call it? The bowels of the stadium there at MetLife, or if somehow she's got a field pass before the game or something. Although that seems like a disaster.
I think but that's also the next step, right?
Yeah.
Do you have her on the field before the game? And
gosh,
what a
zoo
that would be.
I mean, at least New York knows how to handle that kind of thing. They had Jay-Z on the sideline. They can figure out how to get Taylor Swift out.
Yeah, no popcorn. Popcorn canisters needed to haul Taylor Swift out in New York. Only in Kansas City.
We will have an update on that, by the way, tomorrow. Deep tease tomorrow on our show between 6 and 10.
Okay.
There may have been a popcorn communication that has been had.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Between our show and certain entities. There's a deep tease for tomorrow.
Okay. I like it.
Popcorn tomorrow. That's
okay.
it.
There you go. Josh Klingler, Chief Sideline Reporter. Of course, be listening tomorrow on Fesco in the Morning as well. How about that? Diving deep. Fesco in the Morning investigation, maybe?
I appreciate it. I did see that there was just most recently a article out from Awful Announcing that said Taylor Swift's team declined their request to use her music in bump back music for the game on Sunday on Fox.
They declined?
They declined.
They said it's Carrie Underwood's show. Thank you very much.
No,
you don't mess with Sunday Night Football. That's Carrie Underwood's show.
It says, according to their league producer, that it wasn't due to lack of effort that they tried to get there. Instead, he said that Swift's management declined their request thanks to concerns about it being used in association to discuss her relationship with Travis Kelce, in which they are trying to protect. You know, what are you going to...
you know what? I respect it.
She's trying to keep it about Travis. It's his football game, trying to keep it about Travis.
I respect that angle, but also I respect that Sunday Night Football, that's Carrie Underwood territory. Sorry. That's her show. That's her intro.
That's her territory.
You don't mess with that. She was in attendance at the Raiders Sunday night game. Don't mess with it.
We're going to start seeing more people just pop up now at games. That's what's going to happen.
Probably. Again, New York is certainly like the kind of place that has handled some big time celebrities on their sideline. They'd be fine, right?
Oh, it'd still be a mess, though. I don't care what city you're in and where. If Taylor Swift was standing on the sideline before the game, the crowd around here will be still insane, even though there's a limited amount of people who can be on the field. Still, there's a lot of just random everyday people that get a field pass before the game to stand around and watch. Their buddy gets them a pass or whatever, knows someone. Those people are still going to be just as interested in seeing her on the field anyway. So, Sunday Night Football in the Meadowlands. Chiefs should take care of business against the Jets, and everybody will be good.
Sorry. Very quickly we're trying to get some money raised for Wayside Waves.
Yep.
For Vinnie Pasquantino, and I thought maybe I could. He's going over there right now to meet the puppies. that will be coming in for Club 610.
He's picking the ones out that we're getting?
I think so.
Okay.
So he's doing some field research.
Appreciate that.
So I am letting him know the point of contact.
Let's communicate with Vinny. Drew, what kind of puppy do you want? And then we'll have Vinny pick it out. We'll set this all up. Your wife's going to be in studio on Friday, so
that's the plan.
This is how you get your puppy, man. So what kind of puppy do you want? We'll have Vinny pick out the one you want ahead of time. We can make this happen.
If there's a Dalmatian, then
Dalmatian. That's the kind of puppy.
Also, if you want to give
wrong.
me, if you want to give me like 6 months worth of money to pay for this dog and the vet and the food. Okay.
I will say this, though. I could be wrong. I would say a lot of times, someone who has adopted their dog, one, it's the way to go, but also...
Both of mine are adopted. All three of them.
I don't think very often I've ever seen a Dalmatian at a shelter. Unfortunately,
you're not going to find
sounds
one
terrible,
there,
but it's one as a pet that people do want. There's someone, it's a little bit... It sounds terrible.
They're
but
also very expensive.
That, too.
One of the dogs we adopted in the previous time was a beagle. And so, we were going through this, and they kept asking, a lot of questions, like, hey, are you sure this is a dog you want? You can choose any dog, right? And we're like, this is really weird. Is there something wrong with this dog? It was after the fact that somebody who just loves beagles had paid for any of the beagles that ever get adopted to that place to be free, and they didn't want us choosing the dog just because it was free.
Gotcha.
You're like, what do you care whether I think it's a free dog or not?
I did get...
If it's going to get the dog adopted, what's the difference?
When I was in Wichita, the Humane Society there, I actually did get my dog on Labor Day weekend. I was wanting a puppy anyway, but they did have, I think at that time, all the shots were included, Drew. It was especially all the shots were included. I think the adoption fee was reduced and all that. So I know Wayside Wave sometimes does stuff like that as well. But we'll talk to them and more about that on Friday's show. And, of course, we've got the silent auction Sunday night out at Hollywood Casino. Chiefs Jets watch party. Really cool memorabilia items up for grabs and auction there, and the proceeds benefiting Wayside Waves.
It's going to be an awesome time. Obviously, all the stuff he's procuring and the puppies coming on Friday is really going to help sell this thing. Originally, we apologize. We were trying to get the puppies to the casino. It turns out sometimes it's hard to get a whole bunch of puppies just brought into a casino to hang out with us while we watch the Chiefs and Jets game versus puppies just hanging out in our studio for an hour during Club 610. So if you want to watch a video stream, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, you can see us holding puppies. I'm going to hold a puppy the entire time, aren't you?
Yeah, Club 610 is going to be very popular on Friday because of puppies. Magically, more people will want to walk in, Cody, and join Club 610. I do want to point out, though, I know we don't talk NBA here, but there's major news happening in the NBA, worthwhile enough to mention it at least for a second. According to multiple reports now, the Portland Trail Blazers are trading Damian Lillard to the Milwaukee Bucks. So this has been rumored as far as him getting traded for months, but a lot of people thought the Heat were the favorite, but now it appears to be a done deal that the Trail Blazers are trading Damian Lillard to the Milwaukee Bucks. He wanted out of Portland, gave it all there to see if they could win something. They couldn't, and he ends up with Milwaukee. Good for Milwaukee, but that's wild. Everybody thought he was going to Miami. He goes to Milwaukee. So now Giannis and Damian Lillard. Good for Dame. I'm happy. That's
insane.
That's awesome for Damian Lillard, though. He finally
played the good soldier for a long time there.
He's a superstar, too, but he's got one of the best players in the league also playing with him. That's not a knock on McCollum or whatever before, but let's be honest. You got Giannis now and Damian Lillard. Good for Milwaukee. I always appreciate a smaller market having two stars like that.
I like other sports that have... NBA has more opened its doors to that recently. For the longest time in the NBA, if you wanted to win, you had to be on a coast. You had to play for the Lakers. You had to play for that. But them getting Damian, who already played in a small market, so it's not like he's unaccustomed to it. They've had that fancy arena built because Giannis did what he did, and they won that title there and all of those things. So, yeah, kind of fun. Kind of fun when it's a different squad.
This also comes after Giannis was asked about staying in a small market, and he's like, I just want to play for – if I have an opportunity to go win somewhere else, I'm going to go. So, that's how they responded.
So, that's huge
crazy.
deal. That's a huge deal in the NBA. Damian Lillard being traded to the Bucks. Yeah, I guess everyone thought it was going to be the Heat.
That was the favorite.
I don't know what changed there.
The Raptors were also reported as a frontrunner yesterday as well. So, coming out of left field.
I don't blame Damian Lillard for doing, and he kind of quietly asked for his way out of Portland. He didn't try to make a big stink about it. He tried and tried and tried. They should have gotten more talent around that man the entire time they were there. Milwaukee's doing the right way. If you're in a small market and you got a star, you got to bring as many talented players. This is just the way the NBA works. The NBA is different than any other sport in the sense that you have to, if you have a superstar, put other great players around them so they have a chance to win a title. No team wins it with just like one dude.
Yeah, props to Milwaukee, though. I mean, you also, I mean, for Giannis to have, and there were concerns many years ago that Giannis wasn't going to sign there long term. Of course, he has since signed an extension.
Oh, yeah. No, although he already threatened to leave.
I know, but this is how.
But
Like to your point, it works on both ends. It's what Portland wasn't able to do, but also if you're the Bucks, now if you're Giannis, you got to be thrilled. Got to be thrilled. You get Damian Lillard, and I'm happy. Hopefully, Damian Lillard can go win a title now, or at least get to an NBA Finals. He's never been able to do that. And it's not because of him. It's been because of the talent around him. So yeah, significant news in the NBA. Adrian Wojnarowski and others reporting Damian Lillard to the Milwaukee Bucks.
It's a 3-team deal according to Woj. Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton.
Oh, so Aiden's out of Phoenix, huh?
He's out of Phoenix, a 2029 protected pick. It's a huge. This is just
Wow,
across the board. This is a
player.
massive deal.
Grayson Allen is gone
Aiden's
as well.
gone too. It's like this is a much bigger deal than just Lillard gone.
Well, in order to
this
pull
is
it
a
off,
3-team
I think-
trade with like a million different moving pieces.
Even if it involved the Heat before, everybody speculated that it was going to have to be multiple teams, just considering the money and the player that you're talking about. But the surprise is just that Milwaukee is the team where he actually lands. But
Yeah.
I know even if he was going to Miami, people thought it was going to take a couple teams to make it happen.
I just didn't think Ayton was also going to be leaving the Suns as a portion.
Can you imagine as well if there was like an NFL trade like this? The NFL's never going to be like this. But can you imagine if there was a 3-team NFL trade?
I mean, really, like when the deals like for Rodgers or those things happen, that's about as close as we get from an NFL's perspective. Or when the Chiefs traded Tyreek Hill, that's about as big of a star relative to their position and the league that
Rodgers,
you
the
get
Jets,
in the NFL.
and all that.
That's,
Yeah, that's fair.
Those are, and it doesn't seem like it's quite comparable to the kind of movement. But that also, I think, is why, because there's only 13 players, like there aren't that many players per team in the NBA. You know who they are. It's smaller known. It's just more likely. And they have a more flexible salary cap situation than the NFL. You can't just absorb anyone in the NFL. You can't just trade for whoever the hell you want in the NFL.
Right.
Most of the time, they got control with you contract-wise. They don't let you go.
Odds to win the NBA Finals, of course, are off the board. We'll see with the adjusted odds for the Bucks. But right now, you cannot bet on NBA futures because of the massive trade, and we'll see what.
I can't bet on any NBA future right now.
It's
got it locked down.
All the NBA championship futures on FanDuel. Now, again, maybe other apps, conference winners are all locked down because they got to readjust now that the Bucks are they were already a serious contender, but
are they
might be the favorite now. I mean, I understand the Nuggets. I know the Nuggets look dominant on their way to winning, but the Bucks might be co-favorites.
Especially being in the East, yeah. I hope that Kansas City gets an NBA team soon. I know it's likely to not happen at all very soon.
Yeah.
If ever.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm right there with you. But I don't think it's happening. But that would be incredible. Oh, my gosh. Kelce and Taylor Swift courtside when LeBron comes to town. Oh, my goodness. Kidding me?
Now, Pat admitted that his wife was disappointed that Beyonce didn't change the date of her concert. Now she doesn't get to go see Beyonce. She got to watch the Jets game.
That is Sunday night as well. All right, coming up next, we will get to what's trending. We'll get back into the Chiefs a little bit and also how we view the rest of the AFC, in particular where the Chargers stand after their first win of the season. But if you look ahead at their schedule, it's kind of interesting to see where they could be actually in 3 weeks. That's next.
Cody and Gold on 610 Sports Radio, brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com.
Well, I want to tell you about another winner. It's my friends at Window World. They are ranked #1 in number of windows sold in the country by Qualified Remodeler magazine. They're also the official window of the Kansas City Chiefs. So you know the Chiefs are a winner. And Window World, they have windows that are one of 2 windows that are locked in with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. In just over 20 years of business, they have improved the look and thermal efficiency over 52,000 homes in Kansas City. Plus, your windows come with a lifetime warranty that covers all your parts, glass breakage, and labor. It also uses a double-strength glass. It gives it that extra strength that is not commonly used in your normal replacement windows. They are giving an incredible deal right now. They are offering 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. 18 months, that's a year and a half. So do me this favor. Give them a call for a free home estimate. Check out the website, and they can show you how they are simply the best for less. Fall is right around the corner. You know winter is going to be here before you know it. I want you to get ready, and the best way to do that is with my friends at Window World.
Snap into action this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options that include spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/610Bob and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL and of 610 Sports Radio. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
You're always better with a roof from JR.
Well, on the first day of fall, the only thing that was falling was hail, and a lot of it. Don't wait for some hungry, storm-chasing roofer from out of town to tell you your roof's a mess. There's an easier and safer way to know for sure. Online, from locally owned JR & Company. Just visit jrhailcheck.com. Plug in your address and we'll pull a hail report. If there's nothing there, you have hassle-free peace of mind. And if it looks like you got hit, we'll come out and do a free inspection and help with any insurance claim. Veteran-owned JR & Company will never try to sell you a roof you don't need. But if you do need a new roof, remember, a roof from JR comes with a lifetime workmanship warranty. Just visit jrhailcheck.com.
Always better with a roof from JR.
Visit jrhailcheck.com.
It's touchdown Kansas City when you sell your home to Rex at rexbuyskc.com. The champions when it comes to buying homes in Kansas City.
That's right, Mitch. We'll pay more for any home. No hassles or strings attached. We'll buy your home as is for quick, instant cash in only 7 days.
Every home seller scores more with Rex. Rex and his team buy homes for any reason. Bankruptcy, foreclosure, probate, damaged or vacant homes, as is, and you rush away with instant cash.
Homeowners, don't get sacked with a poor financial decision. Call me, Rex, now at 816-330-6000. Fair and honest prices because we know bad things can happen to good people.
Tackled by big home improvement costs, roofs, plumbing, exteriors cost you thousands. Pocket that money and walk away debt and worry free.
Before you sign to sell, call me at 816-330-6000 or online at rexbuyskc.com.
Call the champions, Rex Buys Houses at 816-330-6000 or online at rexbuyskc.com.
Chiefs fans, celebrate the World Championship win all season long with the official vodka of the Kansas City Chiefs from J. Rieger & Co. 100% wheat-based and distilled in our copper pot still. This clean, smooth spirit is perfect for Bloody Marys, Moscow Mules, vodka martinis, and all of your favorite tailgating and game day Rieger cocktails. Pick up the official vodka of the Kansas City Chiefs, only from J. Rieger & Co., Kansas City's original distillery.
Attention taxpayers. If you or your business owe the IRS back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, the IRS has green-lighted billions of dollars in tax relief to those facing financial hardship through its tax relief initiatives. If you have a delinquent tax problem and possibly facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, audits, or already in a payment plan, you may now qualify for significant relief. Qualifying and enrolling in this program could stop all collections, settle your tax problem, and may even reduce what you owe by up to 99%. Call the hotline at Tax Help USA to see if you qualify and receive your free tax assessment by dialing 800-593-0906. If you or your business owe back taxes to the IRS or state, you can now get the help that you need during these hard economic times. Get your free tax assessment to see what you qualify for by dialing 800-593-0906. 800-593-0906. That's 800-593-0906.
When my daughter gets a cold, I have a secret weapon. Dayquil Kids Berry from Vicks. Dayquil Kids is specially formulated to treat kids' most bothersome cold and cough symptoms quickly. And the best part is that Dayquil Kids Berry tastes really great. Aren't you supposed to be resting? Maybe.
Dayquil Kids Berry. The kids' berrylicious daytime congestion, coughing, stuffy head, stuffy nose, just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6 years plus.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
The 610 Sports Radio phone line is brought to you by Onder Law Injury Lawyers. Visit getjim.com.
This report is brought to you by Drug Enforcement Administration in Kansas City. DEA warns not all pills are safe. Countless fake pills contain a lethal dose of fentanyl. This makes drug overdoses a leading cause of death. Learn more how one pill can kill at kansascity.dea.gov.
What's trending?
All right, let's check in on the hot topics trending.
Number one on what's trending, huge news in the NBA. A long rumored trade, at least the player involved, just not the team, now has come to an end, and that involves Damian Lillard. Multiple reports that Damian Lillard has been traded to the Milwaukee Bucks, part of a three-team trade, Bucks, Blazers, and Suns all involved. Damian Lillard going to join up with Giannis Antetokounmpo there in Milwaukee. The Blazers get Drew Holiday, who they're probably going to end up trading, and then DeAndre Ayton, who can't stay in shape, and a 2029 first-round Bucks pick and a Bucks pick swap. The Suns get Grayson Allen and Keon Johnson and Nasir Little, I guess, part of that trade as well. But just blockbuster trade in the NBA, and is a huge shakeup in the Eastern Conference.
Stars, big teams, massive deal. You have to remember, Giannis, they built the stadium for him and all that, the arena for him and all that stuff. And then this summer, he had said, look, we got to prove a recommitment to winning. Essentially threatening once again to leave Milwaukee, because that's what NBA players do, and to just go join other superstars to win a title. And instead they're like, no, here's Damian Lillard. Okay, cool. We're good. It's a massive deal in the NBA.
Giannis not going anywhere.
No, I think he's probably there to stay. Next up on What's Trending, Pat and Andy were at the podium earlier today. Andy said no Nick Bolton at practice today. Noah Gray was also absent, although he was ill. It's the ankle injury that's holding back Nick Bolton. That's a bit concerning because he just missed the game. But honestly, similar to how I felt about the Bears game, if Nick Bolton needs to sit out the Jets game, I think we're good here. Look, I'd like him back for some better offenses, including having to go to Minnesota, a game I think that will be much more challenging than these previous two that we're talking about now, including the game against the Jets. But no Nick Bolton once again at practice. He'll miss a second straight game due to his ankle injury.
Staying in the NFL, Dan Graziano reporting that Jonathan Taylor still seeking a trade out of Indianapolis, and the Colts are not interested in signing him to a long-term deal. He, of course, is on the PUP list. He's on there for one more week. This is the last weekend. Then he becomes eligible to play. But hearing this, I mean, there's a chance this lingers past week 4, or he ends up ultimately getting traded. So no kumbaya moment happening yet there in Indianapolis with Jonathan Taylor and Jim Irsay and company.
He's just sitting on a IR spot for one of my dynasty leagues.
Yeah, a lot of people in that boat, man. I got him in 2. I got an Argentine league. I'm waiting. Yeah. I'm waiting and waiting and waiting.
You gotta hope you don't get kicked out before
I gotta
Jonathan
make
Taylor
it to week
shows
5, and might have to be more.
Yeah, that's a lot of people like that. Next up on What's Trending, FIFA is reportedly deciding between 3 cities to host the 2026 Men's World Cup final. That's New York City, Los Angeles, or Dallas. As you know, we'll get World Cup games here in 2026 for the Men's World Cup. But the final is going to go to one of those 3 cities, New York, L.A., or Dallas.
L.A. seems unlikely. Now, you've been probably seeing the stories that have been coming out, that the ownership, Kroenke over there, not happy with the revenue structure of what they could get for the World Cup games. There's a chance that it ends up ruining their chances for multiple games, too. So I would say New York or Dallas, and Jerry Jones, I wouldn't put it past him finding a way to get this thing.
Less.
Yeah.
He's a smart businessman. He understands that the general dollars he'll get out of other events are worth it just as long as the World Cup men's final is in his building in Dallas, which is the thing Kroenke, he's made a lot of money, so I assume he's a pretty decent businessman. But I think the thing, he's also just been kind of like a jerky owner. He's always fighting over or squabbling over his little bit. He threatened to sue the other NFL owners just a few years ago if they didn't help pay his fines,
his settlement,
for breaking the rules in his own settlement case. So, I just think that this is the way he operates sometimes.
Lastly, on What's Trending, an old name that we haven't talked about in a while. Remember last year, the Saints signed Dan Sorensen? Well, he actually wasn't even on their team, on any NFL team to start this season. He's now back with the Saints on their
Dirty Dan.
on their practice squad. So there you go, Dan Sorensen.
That's another one of those. We talked about the wide receivers that Mahomes completed passes to. Sometimes I'm impressed with what Spags was able to do defensively when Dan Sorensen was one of his 2 starting corners. Don't forget, by the way, our Jets-Chiefs watch party, Hollywood Casino, Turn 2 Sports Bar, just got to be 21 years or older. Our guy, Vinnie Pasquantino and company, we were talking to Vinnie last night, trying to get an idea of which players are showing up. It's going to be a nice list. But Vinnie Pasquantino will be there. We're all going to watch the game together, talk trash together, hang out together, maybe go shoot some craps together. Later, right, whatever it's going to be, we'll be out there at Hollywood Casino coming up this Sunday night for the Chiefs and Jets game. Please come out and hang out with us.
Yeah, let's do it. Sunday, we've been talking about for a while, and it is finally here. And it should be, hopefully, a little less stressful than we all thought it was going to be weeks ago when it was Rodgers-Mahomes. This should be, hopefully, another just comfortable win, just a big party.
I mean, I'd like that if given the choice, yeah.
All right, that's what's trending here on Cody and Gold. Reminder, we're handing things off to CDOT at 2 o'clock. Of course, Rob and CDOT there on the drive. I mentioned the Chargers before the break because, okay, they finally got their first win. They were very close to dropping 0-3. That's
dangerous because the Vikings are on like the 2-yard line to take the lead.
The Vikings, as we suspected, neither team wanted to win the game, basically. They both were trying their best to give it to the other team. Obviously, the Chargers get the win. And they will take on the Raiders this week. And Jimmy Garoppolo's in concussion protocol right now. Chargers are already 5.5-point favorites. This seems like the script that we've seen before. Chargers will win this weekend against the Raiders. They're going to get to 2-2, Cody. Then they have a Sunday night game against the Cowboys. It would not stun me if they find a way to win that because guess who they play after that? They play the Kansas City Chiefs October 22nd.
There it is. So you're already schedule watching a little.
It's setting up to where suddenly the Chargers would have won 3 in a row, coming off a win against the Cowboys, and everybody talks themselves back into the Chargers, and then everybody starts to pick the Chargers to beat the Chiefs in that game, and then the Chiefs remind the Chargers once again why they have not won the division in the last 7 years, and instead the Chiefs have. It just feels like the Chargers are going to win this weekend, and then it would not surprise me. They upset the Cowboys, and all of a sudden everybody's back in on the Chargers, man, right before they play the Chiefs on October 22nd.
And then they lose in like the fourth quarter when the Chiefs score kind of last minute, because it'll be a close game. It's always close against the Chargers. I'm not calling for the blowout on that end. This is what the Chargers do. The only hesitation I have is how long can they survive throwing the ball to Keenan Allen? So Keenan Allen should apply to the same argument as Christian McCaffrey. If you throw the ball to Keenan Allen 20 times a game, he will, let me be very clear, he will get hurt. You just lost a wide receiver due to injury for the remainder of the season. What are you going to do? Throw to Joshua Palmer and Quentin Johnston for the rest of the year? I don't put it out of the question. They're definitely going to beat the Raiders. They'll be 2-2. If they beat the Cowboys, then the hype is back for that Chiefs-Chargers game because look at the Chiefs' schedule. The odds are right now, they got a pretty good chance of going into that game with just one loss, the Chiefs. Because look at their schedule. It's not complicated. They are a, 9-point favorite against the Jets this weekend. They were just coming off of being a 13 or whatever point favorite against them. If the Vikings remain at best they'll have one win. They'll be a touchdown, 6.5, 7? You think it'd be against the Vikings? I'm not looking to look a headline. I'm just taking a ballpark. And they'll be a better than 10-point favorite against the Broncos. So the Chiefs are likely to go into that game, as it currently sits, at 5-1. If the Chargers are 3-2 coming off a win against the Cowboys, then we got juice. That game's got real.
It definitely makes it fun.
And the Chargers feel like they can rebound from their entire bad start to the season with one win to the Chiefs. All of a sudden, they're tied in the division, and they have the win, and they beat the Chiefs at Arrowhead. The one thing is the Chiefs' divisional record still does speak for itself in large volumes when you come to picking those games. And the Chiefs could rack up a lot of wins right after that. I haven't looked very hard at the Chargers' schedule beyond these next few games, but, I mean, you just got to think that I get what you're saying. It's right for let's get back on the Chargers bandwagon. They're winning the Super Bowl. But right now, I feel like all that juice is in Miami, don't you?
That's the game right now on the entire schedule, based off of the Dolphins' offense looking as dominant as anybody in football. To me, the Dolphins still are just what they were the first 6 weeks last year. So it's not as jarring as I think it is to a lot of people. It shouldn't be. Like, this is what they did. If Tua's healthy, this is how good the Dolphins' offense is. Just go back, and Tua's numbers are almost identical to what they were the first 3 weeks last year. The difference now is like they're putting up 70 points.
They're putting up 43 points a game right now because of a 70-point
But the actual overall numbers from their quarterback are very, very similar. He's the favorite guys to win MVP right now, not Mahomes. Tua is the favorite to win MVP.
Someone's on the text line is like, hey, why were you talking about the game a few weeks from now? Let me just be honest with you for just a minute. Jets aren't interesting. There, I said it. It's not an interesting matchup. What do you want me to do? Break down what they can do offensively? They can't. They can't do anything. They can't run the ball. They can't pass. Their quarterback's bad at throwing. Their play calling's not particularly good. They're a pretty good defensive team. They could give the Chiefs a little bit of trouble defensively. They did still, despite that being a very good defensive team, give up 30 to the Cowboys a couple of weeks ago and still couldn't manage to get past 10 points against the New England Patriots, a team who also can't move the ball. Mac Jones has been accused of punching Sauce Gardner in the penis.
Why couldn't you just say in the nuts? Why did you have to? It was very what? Okay, go ahead.
And yet still, they're heading nowhere. They're just not an interesting team, that's all. Mac Jones is a dirty player. Can we admit that?
I think he might be, but Sauce Gardner...
He's a dirty player. He's been accused of this stuff like 10 times.
I think so, but also, like, it's really weird for Sauce Gardner to be tweeting out slow-motion videos. Like, it also is football. I'm not saying, like, you should have the right... But also, like, we hear stories about what happened, like, under the pile and stuff, and like, what... It's just weird for me for an NFL player to be, like, going to Twitter and putting out slow-motion videos, which, by the way, you can't even really tell if Mac Jones punches him there. All you see is his hand slightly move, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. That's a tough angle. The NFL's probably got the angle, but they're not going to release it. Mac Jones has also just been accused of that stuff before, you know?
Text line's right. Andy
it's like
said
the Grayson
that
Allen argument.
Text line's right. We should talk up the Jets more. They said Andy said the Jets are a good football team. You know,
but Andy did.
They're a good football team. So you know.
Hold on. Andy also insulted them in only the way that Andy can insult them. He said they're a really good defense. They can cause you problems. And he said that offense is progressing. That's how he said it. That might as well be Andy Reid saying the garbage. They can't move the ball. Worthless, useless. That's Andy's version of it. He's more diplomatic than that. But when he can't even like say something nice about one of your offensive players right now, he didn't even hit him with the like Garrett Wilson's pretty good. He didn't even try that. He just like they're progressing. They're getting there.
I mean, I don't know what else you're supposed to say about that offense.
It's one of the worst offenses in the NFL. Which actually, this probably just all it really does is highlight once again, the extreme level of importance the quarterback plays. Because going into the season, we all thought that the New York Jets would have a top 5-7 offense in the NFL. And we are now talking about them like they're before the invention of the forward pass. Like they don't know how to get points on a board even if they tried. The funny part is, it's not that their skill position players are all that bad. Garrett Wilson is a very good player. They have several other capable wide receivers.
A lot of talent.
Breece Hall is very talented, but they've got a very bad offensive line, and now a quarterback who can't save them from it. Like when you put those two things together, no amount of good skill position players is going to save your ass.
I want to point out, we mentioned during what's trending the Damian Lillard trade,
yes,
3-team trade. The odds are back up on FanDuel. It took them down for 5 minutes to adjust after the trade. As we suspected, the Milwaukee Bucks are now the favorites to win the NBA title.
4-1, 5-1?
Plus 360 for the Bucks. Nuggets plus 430, Celtics plus 480, Phoenix 6-1. So look, when you have Dame Lillard joining Giannis, all of a sudden nobody's stunned. I'm not telling you the Bucks are going to win the title, but like they should be the favorites heading in. The Nuggets very close to being co-favorites.
The Suns got rid of Ayton, and they might even be more favored to win the NBA.
Yeah, I don't know
what
they're. I don't remember what it was right before.
They did get Nurkic from Portland too in that trade, so they had a swap. You could argue Nurkic is better than Ayton, anyways.
No, you're good. I just thought it was interesting. We'll have more on this. New episode of That Betting Show comes out tomorrow. We don't just talk NFL and college football. We'll work in a little NBA tomorrow on the podcast.
We're very confused by your sports fandom because it's Wisconsin football, Drew, and
right.
the Cincinnati Bengals. Are you a Pacers guy?
He is, right?
I am genuinely I would say, I don't have an NBA team, but if I cheered for one, it is the Indiana Pacers.
You grew up in Indiana.
Yeah. Right there.
You don't have an Indiana-based NBA team? You got to be a Pacers guy.
True.
Okay.
Reggie Miller as a kid still there. Wait, come on.
Well, not when he was a kid.
The stories of Reggie Miller.
He was watching Jermaine O'Neal.
The reason why...
Still.
I do not have an NBA team is Mike Conley went to my rival high school, and growing up as a kid, we would go to watch Mike Conley and Greg Oden destroy every high school team on the planet. He went to Lawrence North. I went to Lawrence Central. I was drafted by the Memphis Grizzlies, so by
you watched
default,
Greg Oden wreck your squad?
I didn't know where I was going to high school when I was like 5. So I just loved Lawrence North and I loved Mike Conley. And they
All right.
talk about selling out a high school football in Texas, high school basketball in Indiana. Very much the same.
So if the Pacers ever get good again while we're producing the show,
if the Pacers get Paul George back, I will guarantee on the show right now, you can write it down, I will become a Pacers fan again because I loved Paul George. Paul George is awesome.
you know what? I'm just gonna be a Bucks fan. You know,
I'm not. I will
like
never
it.
do
I
that.
I
will never do that.
I don't have a NBA team. I am a fan of certain players, right?
You should be a Kings fan because the Kings rolled through Kansas City.
No, they're not in Kansas City. In fact, they took the name as well. So
yeah,
screw
they
them.
did.
Screw them.
For the team
Screw
leaves,
them. Yeah. No, if anything,
and I was not even born when they left.
I've been a fan of Damian Lillard for a while. So if anything, yeah, I probably would pull for the Bucks a little bit more this year.
The NBA is really difficult. The NBA is such a players' league, or the NFL, I feel like it's more you're cheering for your team, and you can root for a player, but it is the amount of people for LeBron James, for example, who love LeBron, but they are Heat, Cavs, Lakers. You know, they follow players more than they do teams.
Not our guy Rob Britton, the afternoon producer of The Drive, is a Cleveland Cavaliers fan. Was before LeBron, was during LeBron, and remains a Cleveland fan even after.
Okay.
I did own a old LeBron James jersey when I was younger, and I wore a headband every time I played basketball. I
You were a
wanted
headband
to be,
guy?
I wanted to be LeBron James, so I wore the headband. I was spiked my hair up a little bit. Oh yeah.
So unlike jackets, Drew does
man.
think about headbands.
Yeah.
Very often. Slightly different vibe.
I will say this: when I am watching tennis and I see Rafa playing with a headband, I want the headband. I like it.
Headband guy.
Never been a headband guy.
No.
I don't think I could rock the headband. I like the headband. I don't know if I would wear or could pull off the headband.
It's like that satin jacket problem. Like honestly, it's good to be self-aware. It's good to I think that sometimes about nice shoes. One, I don't think I've got it in me to spend like $350 on a pair of like high tops. But then I'm like, God, can I even pull them off if I wore them? I think the answer is no.
You would want to try it for sure, but as soon as you put it on, you'd realize
look
maybe
like an
this
idiot.
isn't it. Yeah.
I spent $300 on these pair of shoes, and everyone's like, look at this jerk. You're like, it's a tough problem.
Wouldn't you try on the shoes though first before you buy them? Or do they not let you try those?
I don't know. That amount of money let you try on $300.
Are you excited? Are you excited, Drew? We have a company event later this afternoon. There's a funny story before the show started. So we have a company event we're going to a little bit later on this afternoon with some clients or whatever. And we were talking before the show, just like everything. Because Dusty texted me too. He's like, hey, basically hey, what are you wearing to this thing? Drew's like, what are you wearing to this thing? Dusty texted me as well. And so we answered. And then Speck comes out of his office. He's like, yeah, Drew, you're not RSVP, man. Basically, you weren't scheduled to go, and you were just going to show up.
I was. I got the email. I got the email, so I assumed I was invited.
The email says
RSVP.
Please RSVP.
It did.
Are you a bad RSVP?
Clearly, I didn't read the email all the way through or whatever.
Well, there was conflicting information. The email the boss sent, or our direct boss, Spec, sent, at one point said no +1. Then the email that...
That's what I knew, yes.
Then there was another email...
That was the original email. The original email did not specify. It said, hey, let us know if you're coming.
But there was another email sent from someone else in the building that said +1 allowed. So that might have been some of the confusion.
So I think part of that's on me. So we got the email that said, please RSVP. I said, hey, yeah, I'll be there. Can I have a +1? No more than 10 minutes after that, it said, you can't have it. That's done.
Wait, you got an email back from that same person?
I don't remember getting my +1. I was like, you said I could bring a guest. So then it's like, no, you can't bring a guest. I'm like, well, then, okay.
And then Drew wasn't going to go tonight. I'm like, you should go, man.
Well, I was like, well, if I don't have to, and it's like, well, I should go, yes.
It's important to shake hands
with
with people
I'll be
who
honest,
support 610
it's
Sports
smart.
Radio.
It's smart for you to go. I'll just say it like it. You're the new guy still. It's good for you to meet people. There's a lot of you haven't met.
It's totally. Well, 100%.
People worry too much.
Plus, you never know what comes from those things anyways.
Dusty texted me.
If you're not sure what to wear, go with either slacks or a nice pair of jeans with a nice pair of shoes and something with buttons.
Yeah, we're just going.
You're fine.
We're just going jeans. We're just going jeans tonight. We'll be good.
But you'll wear something with buttons. You wear a polo or a shirt with buttons. You won't wear a t-shirt.
I'll wear a Taylor Swift shirt or
You'll
something.
You'd probably be fine in that scenario.
Be good.
I am, by the way, working on using what the very short remains of the Cody and Gold Fund are to get some shirts for us to sell to help Chiefs fans support Taylor Swift. I feel like Taylor Swift fans have done nothing but support the Chiefs. I am trying to return said favor. I am close to procuring a large order for one person to purchase with the show debit card, to purchasing some T-shirts for us to sell. I was thinking maybe I could just hang out in front of the building under a tent.
Yeah, Drew and I talked about this.
Like a merch stand and sell them for you.
Drew and I talked about this. We're good. We're just kicking you out of the studio on Friday.
Oh, so you're saying I can't?
We're kicking you out of the studio on Friday. You can go downstairs.
Well, I want to be back with the puppies at 1. Can I be back for
That's
those?
fair enough. I think
Plus,
on Friday
someone has to make the drinks here.
I think on Friday we maybe early in the show you go down to the parking lot and sell these T-shirts for the show fun.
Yeah.
But Drew and I we're kicking you out. You need to go down
you're
there.
not going to help.
We're gonna just kick you out. Yeah,
Is it
you can go
because I use
downstairs.
the money?
Yes.
Okay.
More show fun. Irregularities.
Not irregularities. This is a business opportunity.
I think. Well, you're fine. You go do
Use
that.
money to make money.
We'll
you see how
check
this
in.
works?
We'll check in with you a few times or whatever. But we'll kick you out. You're gonna go downstairs. We'll kick you out for at least an hour or so.
Okay.
Friday.
Fine. Understood.
You can see the puppies as they bring them in.
Oh man, I want to pet the puppies. There's nobody who doesn't like puppies. That's a universally liked thing. Have you gotten confirmation? Is your wife coming?
She said maybe. I don't.
She doesn't have to talk on air if she doesn't want to. Maybe.
I don't think she would care.
There's puppies and drinks.
Somebody in the text line did mention a puppy that my wife would have to resist, and that's a dachshund. She loves dachshunds.
I grew up. We had a miniature long-haired dachshund as a kid.
Long-haired dachshund. That's an off-putting dachshund.
No, not at all.
Short
Black and
hair.
gold, the black and gold color.
They look
That's
weird.
an
They look
off-putting
They
dachshund.
look better with short hair.
Yeah, it depends.
Long hair, that's weird in dogs. Like long hair chihuahua, it's like short, like little tiny dogs. Like they should have like short hair.
It depends, man.
It's not exactly what I was planning on finishing the show with today. But that's fine.
Oh, there you go.
You know, what are you gonna do?
We're back at it tomorrow.
Sure.
A long show for us. A grand total of 60 minutes.
Have we checked the weather? No, maybe.
The intro tomorrow.
I think we're good
I might
weather-wise.
have a new intro for you tomorrow
Okay.
because of what you just said.
60 minutes.
Is it just gonna be the ticking?
I'm going to say, except on the West Coast. But no, we have 60-minute show tomorrow. That's it. We're back at it for an hour. We'll have more details on potential T-shirts dropping on Friday's show. For now, though, we're handing things off to CDOT and Rob on the drive.